All right, so we're here for a live stream of the B-Hive podcast. We're actually going to call this the B-Hive Live. I think that's what we're going to call these little
The
segments.
Be Live.
The B-Live, the B-Hive Live,
Mm-hmm.
B-Live. Be-Live, people. We're not here with Brett right now. Unfortunately, he will be a little bit late, but that's okay. So I'm sure people will be coming in soon. But anyways, we have a lot to talk about today because the season's right around the corner.
Yesterday was the last Saturday that there won't be a Bruins regular season going on.
Exactly. And I don't know how pumped you are, but
Oh, I'm so pumped for this season.
I'm so ready to go. It's going to be a
Mhm.
lot of fun. Um, so, one thing that I am kind of. Oh, crap. One thing I'm kind of a little bit scared of here is the defense, to be honest. I'm not too sure. And it's not because I don't think we have a decent defense going forward. It's because I think they're going to stick with that Forbort McAvoy pairing for a while. And I'm not too fond of it. I know you're not fond of it. From the beginning, I haven't been fond of it. When we picked him up, I was like, oh, great. We got an awesome third pairing guy here. And yeah, he gave 20 minutes a game for Winnipeg last season, but he had a pretty good first half of the season, but the second half of the season, yikes. I'm just not excited about it. I hope he proves me wrong. That'd be awesome. But I'm just not seeing it.
I think the problem that I'm having with Derek Forbort right now in the preseason is that I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt in terms of adjusting to a new system because he plays an entirely different system here in Boston than he did in Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some things where the system doesn't matter, and what he's doing is just he's behind the play all the time. He's unable to make a tape-to-tape pass. He is just you can see him already starting to drag McAvoy down. Now I understand the idea of McAvoy and Forbort being like a situational pairing. You know what I mean? Because coaches do that all the time. They'll mix and match depending on the situation. If you want to put somebody bigger with McAvoy in certain situations, that's great.
That was actually me because I didn't have my mic plugged in and I just realized it.
Oh, wow.
So now my mic's plugged in. I was talking through my computer the whole time.
Oh, wow. Well, it sounded good either way.
Yeah, sounds better now.
That's the issue. That's the issue I have. Hi, Danielle.
What's going on, Danielle?
That's the issue that I have right now. But the thing is, the thing of it that kind of compounds it and makes compounding interest is that I don't know if you guys saw this, but a couple of weeks ago, I put out a tweet that laid out the Grizzlick McAvoy pairing, and this past season. And they were top 2 in 7 different categories together. What are we doing? Why is this? I don't want to hear he's small. Stop it. I don't want to hear it. It's a archaic and lazy way to analyze hockey. And I understand that Cassidy has some sort of weird kind of I have to protect the cinnamon roll or whatever the fuck. But when there is somebody right there that works so much better with McAvoy, who I said on the podcast a couple weeks ago in kind of a Freudian slip, I said he was going to win the Norris. I pulled back, but I truly believe that he could win the Norris. But if he doesn't, it's going to be because Derek Forbort is being a bone hanger tied to his ankle.
No, I agree. I don't think it's going to end up being a good thing. And one of the biggest reasons is because there is people out there who believe that since he's a shutdown guy, he's going to be able to, allow McAvoy to jump up on the offense. And that's not really the case. McAvoy's going to be spending a lot more time trying to bail him out when he's getting burned because he is pretty slow. He's not the fastest dude out there.
Forbort is one of the slowest skaters I have seen in a Bruins uniform ever. I'm counting Chara in that. The dude is
even 40-year-old Chara.
Even 40-year-old Chara. This dude is going uphill in molasses flow.
Oh my god!
And I'm not looking forward to watching McAvoy have to cover. This is the third straight year that we've done this.
Right. No,
We had
I agree.
Chara. We had Chara 2 years ago.
Mhm.
We had Jeremy Lazon last year, who who somehow in the greatest magic trick in the season last year tricked people into thinking he was indispensable.
True.
But when in reality, McAvoy was holding him above water, and now when Cassidy at some point during it wasn't at some point during the year. Cassidy a light bulb didn't go off in his head. Lazon got hurt. Lazon, I think he broke his hand or something, and he missed 6 weeks, I believe.
Yes. Yep.
And in that time, McAvoy broke out finally, and it was because he was paired with Matt Grzelcyk. Play your best defenseman against the best players on the other team. Don't, in the name, you're sacrificing at the altar of balance. It's awful. It's awful.
And that did seem to be the pairing where we've seen McAvoy's best offensive output that he's ever had. Mm-hmm. When you look at the postseason, the playoffs, he had, what was it?
He was a point a game. I think he was 12 points in
11
games.
Yeah,
12 points.
12 and 11.
1 goal and 11 assists. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd like to see him shoot the puck more. That's for sure.
Me too.
The guy can score.
Me too. He's got a great shot. I don't think he likes to use it. I think he'd rather facilitate.
Right.
But no, shoot the puck more. He can. Charlie McAvoy can win the Norris and probably be the best all-around defender to win the Norris in the last 5-6 years if he does.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then he'll go into free agency and we're going to have to dump ice on you. And I'll be sad. I'll be sad about it.
I don't think it's going to happen. We will find out. Mm-hmm. I hope for both of our sakes, for every Bruins fan's sake, let's hope that it's you getting drenched with that water. Yeah. But I mean, we got a long time until then. And one thing that might help my case if this ends up being the thing is if Forbort is the guy, I don't think I'm going to be getting drenched in water at all.
How long do you think this pairing lasts before Cassidy just sort of says, no.
10 games.
10 games? Okay. I have 8. I have an 8-game rule, and I have an 8-game general rule and everything. But but 10, yeah, I'll see that.
And then what I think you'll see from there is I think you'll see him kind of mixing and matching in the game. Mm-hmm. You'll see Grzelcyk in this situation, Forbort in this situation. I think that will last maybe 15 games.
If he does that, that's fine. If he does that, that's fine. The mixing and matching, that's fine. I don't mind. And Cassidy always has his finger hovering on the line blender, whether it's the forwards or the defenseman. So, that's part and parcel with the Bruce Cassidy experience. I'm fine with that. But I don't want to see Derek Forbort playing 21 minutes a night.
I agree. And maybe protecting a lead at the end of a game where you're going to be playing in your zone probably 60% of the time. Put him there. Because the guy can defend.
The guy can defend. He's not terrible. He's not terrible when it comes to just getting in front of shots and just parking his big body. When he can do that, he's serviceable. And you want to know something? If playoff Cliffy, if his preseason and his last postseason are anything to glean off of, playoff Cliffy might be Cliffy. This might be Cliffy.
I think so.
He might have finally turned the corner. And this Forbort Clifton pairing, I would 15, 17 minutes a night of that. Let's go.
Right. We have playoff Cliffy. Now we have preseason Cliffy. Now we just need regular season Cliffy. Mm-hmm. That's what we need.
I had Cliffy as my biggest preseason surprise this year. Because he was very, very solid, and I was expecting more of the same of me ripping my hair out, him taking stupid penalties. But fortunately, that went to Frederick. But that's another story for another time.
Mine was actually Studnicka because while he did, beef up and stuff like that, I wasn't sure what I was going to see from him, and what I saw, I was honestly thrilled. I didn't expect it. So I'd say that was mine.
We broke down a few plays about Studnicka on the pod, especially during the Rangers game. And there was one in particular. I'm going to repeat myself for anybody who's already heard this one. but he boxed out a couple of defenders for the Rangers he had the puck and he boxed out a couple of defenders in the Rangers, and the second guy comes in to help and gives him a vicious cross check in the back. He didn't even move.
Really?
And then he just whipped the puck. He just whipped the puck on net. It was wide, but he didn't even move. He didn't even register that the dude hit him. And last year, he would have been 6 feet under in the ice.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this, Andrew? Jake DeBrusk, 100 points. What do you got on that?
I know that's bravo. Please try again. Thank you.
Now, what about Andrew Taverna's take of Taylor Hall with 100 points? What do you think of that one?
Andrew Taverna, please try again.
If he plays,
I got about 70 for Taylor.
Brett and I are going to be doing our predictions coming up this next episode, and I don't want to say it yet because I don't want anything like that. But I said to Andrew, if he is playing that top power play, and he does have a lot to work with there, I totally see him being able to hit maybe 80, 85 points.
I think that he has an outside shot of that, but I can see that.
It's better than 100.
I could see a full season of Taylor Hall. Dirty words coming up here, but I could see a full season Taylor Hall offsetting David Krejci.
I could see him totally surpassing Krejci.
Yeah.
Especially in the goal department. I think one thing that I think is that he will have his second ever 30-goal season this year. If he's playing on that top power play and he's able to, I think that second line, it's not going to be as bad as I first thought in the beginning of the off season before any moves were made. I really had to think about it, and I said to myself, okay, I think this can work out. And then when I saw Coyle, Smith, and Hall together for that one preseason game, I was like, okay.
All Coyle has to do. Coyle doesn't have to be the points getter. He just has to be the one. He has to play his game. I mean, this is the biggest cliche in sports, and I'm sorry that I'm even saying it, but he's got to play his game. And his game is that big body protecting the puck and letting the other two drive the play, and then just having Coyle sort of tire out the defense.
Exactly.
And then letting either Hall direct traffic or Craig Smith, who I think he thinks the puck has a bomb in it, because I've never seen a shot he didn't like.
Yeah, I agree. He definitely likes to unload that shot quick.
And that's a good shot. It's a good shot.
Exactly. It's good. You want that. You kind of like when you're looking at a quarterback in football, you want that release time to be quick.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how Smith is with his shot. It's a quick release.
Yep.
He doesn't give the goalie enough time to really kind of set up and get square. I could honestly see Smith this year in a full season with the Bruins, top 6 minutes. That second power play actually looked pretty good. I liked what I saw from that second power play. I think I could totally see him getting 25 goals this year.
I think that's a very reachable. What is his career high off the top of your head? Do you know?
I believe it's like 24, 25, around there.
Yeah.
But I don't know the last.
And that was third line minutes in Nashville.
Exactly, for the most part. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Danielle, I have to kind of give a shout out here. If you want to pay for a Frederick jersey for me, go right ahead. I will DM you my address.
Oh yeah, I'll take one.
Yeah, I like Frederick.
I do too.
I don't hate him. I promise you, I don't hate him. I just hate what he does.
I honestly think that he proved a lot of. Well, no, he probably didn't prove a lot of people wrong, because a lot of people don't know what to look for in a fourth line player. They expect, Marchand on the fourth line. I feel like that's how a lot of Bruins fans are. I'm not saying every Bruins fan, don't be offended if you're not one of those Bruins fans.
No,
but
we got a lot of smart fans, but we got a lot of not smart fans too.
Right. They see Frederick, like, oh, well, he didn't score a goal last game. It's like, okay, but he competed. He was a pain in the ass. He provided energy. He kept the puck along with his, line mates in the offensive zone, giving, either the top line or the second line or the third line a chance to come in and jump on that possession. You got to look for these things. You just have to look for those things.
You're talking about his last 2 preseason games because
Correct.
I know you sure shit aren't talking about his first 2.
No. He looked like the Frederick from last year that I had no care in the world to see.
Mm-hmm. Yes, correct. Yes. He did just, like, I hate saying this, he did just enough to earn the 4th line spot. He did just enough to earn the 4th line spot. And even though I still have feelings about whether or not Jack Studnicka should be on this team come October 16th, I don't want him on the 4th line. I think there is a way that you could put him on the 3rd line, but we'll get there. We'll definitely get there.
Right.
But for Trent Frederick, I said this last week, what he needs to do, I said this on the pod last week, what he needs to do is understand that some of the parts of his game are starting to take shape. And one of them is his defensive acumen. He's always been a plus defensive forward. He was in Wisconsin and he was in Providence. People didn't really see that because punch in the face in your kitchen. Everyone was just worried about that one. I think, and that was like the unique skill set that everybody loves.
Mm-hmm.
For this version of Freddie to stick, what he needs to do is he needs to be that low event defensive fourth liner. That could be, if that's his role and he can do it effectively and he doesn't take stupid penalties, I'll be fine with it if he scores 5 points all year, but keeps the puck out of the net, has some penalty kill time, lays a couple of big hits, and most importantly, lets Lazar and Noshik just buzz.
Exactly.
Which is what they can do.
And he has a tiny bit of offensive flair, more at lower levels, not as much as at the NHL level so far, of course. Mm-hmm. But maybe a guy like Nosek who does have an absolute doggone hard-on for that net. Like, oh my God, you watch that guy go to the net, he goes hard.
No, you said Noshik?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He goes absolutely hard to the net. And Freddie, he can facilitate that puck a little bit. You saw it a little bit last year on that third line when everyone fell in love with him. Mm-hmm. He had a couple nice little assists there. I totally see him being able to create, every once in a while, a little bit of magic for that awesome fourth line spark goal that you always need once in a while in a game.
Yeah. And if he can do that and stay away from the stupid shit, or as Thomas likes to say on the short shift, his lost dog shifts, if he could there's no other way to put him. Where don't try to fight entire lines when you're down 5-1, I guess is my main point.
Stay out of everyone's kitchen and let them stay in their own kitchen.
Exactly. So
no, I agree.
Yeah.
But apparently Forbort wins the Norris. So Officer Gaming is trolling hard as always.
Yes, that's his bit, I guess.
It's all about puck possession for Coyle. Absolutely.
100%. Yup, that's his game. He doesn't have to shoot. He doesn't have to shoot.
No.
Just hold on to the puck and just be a pain in the dick for anybody who's trying to get it from you. That's it. That's always been his game.
Exactly. He and that's going to help Hall big time.
Absolutely.
Big time. And Smith too, because he's going to draw so much attention that a creative player like Hall is going to be able to find himself in areas where he shouldn't be, but he's there and no one knows about it. And he's able to facilitate that puck to a Smith who is just right there, ready.
Always in the slot, net. Always ready.
Exactly. Right there, ready to go. It's going to work out well, and I'm really excited about it.
Right.
What else do we got here? That's all you, I guess.
I don't. I don't know how to. I don't know how to respond to that. Probably because there is a closet behind me.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a bedroom, but that's where we're at.
Yeah, it is a bedroom. All right. Yeah, and we got some trolls here.
That is what he does. I think
No,
we know this.
but
This is
we
what he
love
does.
them.
So Officer Gaming actually is now the host of a podcast with the B&G Network, apparently.
Congratulations, bravo.
So congrats on that. When are we going to get an episode? Because I know your last episode you ever posted was with me and Andrew here, and that was like 6 months ago,
That
or whatever it was.
was
And I'll tell you one thing: here in the Black and Gold Network, you're gonna need to post regularly. Just a heads up.
you gotta be productive. I mean, heck, we were. I don't know how we on the short shift were able to post an episode every week, but we were able to post an episode every week of a lot of content.
Yep.
We gained a new host. I think Ian joining the show took us to a entirely new level.
Right.
So
No, it works. And I remember telling him that actually the first episode I ever listened of the short shift was the one with you and Ian, just you
right,
two.
right.
And then from there, I kept listening. And so I've never known the show without him.
Yeah. No, see, yeah, there you go. And then the numbers jumped exponentially when he joined. So
Right.
and you know his YouTube is blowing up too. He's great. Oh, okay, we got an actual question here. Here we go.
So what do you guys see in Kuhlman that you don't see in Wagner? Curious as to your thoughts on why waived Wagner and not Kuhlman. Do you think it's most cap related? I honestly think that at this point, I think there's guys in front of him, in front of Wagner, that can play that role better. Wagner has been on a really bad downward slope to disaster
For about 2 years now.
He didn't do anything in preseason to help himself.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't noticeable. Was he bad? No, but he wasn't what he needed to be. And a young guy like Kuhlman, oh my God. I believe I said to Andrew earlier, he's like a lightning rod. Like he's fast. He's got a hell of a shot. He's an energy guy. He forechecks well. I think he would be really good as that next guy up while Lazar is figuring, getting himself back together.
Well, I think he's won the job because the fourth line rushes have been Frederick, Noshik, and Kuhlman.
Yeah, so far it seems that way.
So, for my answer for Sharon's question here, I have a couple of theories here. Well, first of all, everything that Kevin said is bang on. Kuhlman is a spark plug. He's incredibly fast. He's a very fast skater, and he's got a great shot. I don't see that. I don't see speed with Wagner. I see a more heavy game with Wagner, but Kuhlman has a more well-rounded game than Wagner does.
Mm-hmm.
And why they waived Wagner and not Kuhlman, I think, is twofold. One, Wagner being waived actually shaves about $1.1 million off of the cap because he has a variable contract where if he ends up being in Providence, which is still a possibility, which is still a very distinct possibility, he cleared waivers today. Yep. It costs $235,000 in Providence as opposed to 1.3 in Boston. So that's one. Two, I think if Kuhlman went on the waiver wire, he'd be picked up.
I agree.
Yep. So I guess you could say that it's cap related, but I don't think that some of it is cap related, but not close to it being all cap related.
One guy I was actually surprised wasn't picked up was Senyshyn, and the team that I'm surprised didn't pick him up is Seattle.
Go on.
Seattle's offense, I don't see anyone there who is really making me excited. It's a perfect spot for a guy like Senyshyn to kind of go there and see if he can gain a spot. It might be a better place for him. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's a bad player. Every single time he has came up and played with Boston, He's played well. He looked like he belonged. Um, Unfortunately, injuries has really kind of dogged him every time he comes up.
Well, it's a combination of injuries and also I just I don't think he's got the toolbox to stick in the NHL. I really don't. I think he's got the tools.
Right.
I will maintain that when he was drafted, that he had first round tools. I think he deserved to go in the first round. Did he deserve to go 15th? No, he didn't.
Absolutely not.
But he had first round tools, and the Ducks.
I honestly have him second round. I don't even have him first round.
I think that's totally fair. But the Ducks wanted him too, and this was a mistake on Sweeney's part. He panicked and he picked up Senyshyn instead. As for going to Seattle, Ryan Donato is going to be playing top 6 minutes over there.
Insane.
They're going to have to win a lot of games 2-1, but they have the defense and goaltending to do that, to be fair.
I didn't think there was a worse thing out there than Richie in a top 6, on a top line at that, but then I found out that Donato is playing top 6 in Seattle. So
it's crazy to think, but one team that I'm surprised wasn't Senyshyn didn't get picked up by was Buffalo.
Yeah, there's another team.
If you're the Sabres, you are at the point right now where you need to pick up talent wherever it is.
Right. Columbus, Arizona, Detroit even maybe. I mean, teams like this actually no, Detroit doesn't need that. I think Detroit
has the farm system right now.
Right, and they have a plan.
Yeah.
And they have the guy in place to do it. So
at general manager?
At general manager, correct.
Believe in the Yzer plan, man.
Yeah, you cannot after what he did with Tampa Bay.
Yep. Yeah, those are partly his cups, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And,
absolutely partly his.
Yep. And but if you're Buffalo, this whole Eichel thing has been just such a mess. And they've already picked up a couple of they've already picked up a couple of by the wayside prospects on the waiver wire. So I'm surprised they didn't do that for Boston either on Senyshyn. You need to find talent wherever it is if you're Buffalo at this point.
For Ottawa, I don't know if that makes sense for them because I see them as a team that is ready to start adding bigger players to go around their younger core that they've kind of started to sort of establish with Stützle and Norris,
Matherson.
Yep. Shabbat. They have so many nice pieces there that as soon as they're into their own and they start adding around through free agency and trades, holy shit, watch out for Ottawa.
It's going to be that team is going to be an absolute electric factory all year. Every game is going to be 6-5 because Matt Murray is a mess.
It's insane.
They have such firepower. They also they are like a turbo powered submarine with a screen door. They're going to go real fast, but they're going to sink real quick.
Right. All right. So after Price went down, so now that not went down, but now that he's stepping away,
went down to player assistance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's stepping away. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if he comes back. People seem to think he has a chance of it, at least this season.
No. I'm glad nobody's speculating as to why. It's just like, just leave him be and let him go.
Exactly. Like Krejci, leave him be, let him go.
Yep.
For me, it's I have this like weird kind of I got Spencer Knight with my last pick. I love it.
Nice. Cool job.
All right, so now I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Share my top pick? No, I could care less to do that. Awesome. I'll give you guys my team that I was doing while talking and thinking and watching Red Sox and all that stuff here in a minute. What was my thought? Oh yeah, goaltending for Ottawa. I'm not sure where that's going to be standing quite yet.
Matt Murray is
for the future.
Oh, you mean for the future? Well, they have their backup is Philip Gustafson, who has been the goalie of the future to now, I believe, 3 different franchises.
Yeah, okay. So there's your answer.
Yep.
All right, so let me real quickly. I'm going to give you guys my fantasy hockey team that I just got going on right here.
Mhm.
Are you doing a draft? Yes, I was just doing a draft. I totally forgot that I had this draft tonight. But since I am dedicated as hell, I decided I was still going to do the draft while being here. So it worked. So I have Braden Point, Nick Suzuki, Leon Draisaitl, Andrei Svechnikov, Patrick Kane, Patrick Laine, Adam Fox, Thomas Chabot, Torrey Krug, Quinn Hughes, Jeremy Swayman, Carter Hart, Mark Barzell, Frank Vetrano, Cole Caulfield, Vladimir Tarasenko, because watch out, his revenge tour is coming. Charlie Coyle, because Andrew and I talked about it, and Spencer Knight.
Dude, you don't have enough grinders on there. You need toughness.
Yeah, I don't have enough size and I don't have enough grit. I don't think I'm making the playoffs this year.
No, I don't think so.
No, but luckily for fantasy, it is all about the finesse and the points. So at least for this one, but I think I'm happy with my team for half paying attention to it.
Yeah, that's pretty. That is pretty good.
I had no idea what was going on like half the time, so I was literally like,
Oh yeah, I'm picking now. Oh shit, I have 5 seconds left.
Oh, well, that sucks. How'd you do that? With your full attention.
Oh snap!
Full attention.
Shots fired, Kevin. Shots fired.
No, I'm joking. Let's see. So there's still plenty more to talk about, obviously. And one of the biggest things I'd like to talk about is Ullmark, because there's a lot of people who are already writing him off. And it's really gross to see that. People, just absolutely write off a goaltender who, A, has not played a game since April 13th. Let's just put that out there. He hasn't played a game since April 13th. That wasn't even when the season ended. The season ended mid-May. He was shut down due to injury. He's still shaking off the rust. He's still trying to figure out which grocery store to buy his groceries from here. He's just moved his family here. Give him a minute. It's preseason. Andrew Raycroft actually said it very well in the Morning Brew that goaltenders, at least the goaltenders who are established and know they have a job, usually don't show up like they would in the regular season during preseason.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be like, oh, well, Swayman did this. Yeah, Swayman is fighting his ass off
life. Yeah, exactly.
To be that number one guy to get most of those starts. That's what he wants. Ullmark was signed to do just that. So it's Ullmark's job to really lose. Am I worried about his preseason stuff? Not really. Did I see some stuff that definitely needs to be worked upon? Yes. But we have some of the best goaltending coaches in the entire league. And I have no doubt that he is going to be ready to go for game one. But game one, I still believe it should go to Swayman. The only reason why I would say give it to Ullmark would be so you don't shake his confidence even more than Boston's Twitter has maybe already done if he's on there watching.
Yeah. Well, first of all, if his comments about Tuukka Rask are to be believed, he doesn't give a shit about any of the outside stuff. For those who are listening that don't remember, they asked Ullmark about the possibility of Tuukka Rask coming back to the team, and Ullmark looked at the guy dead in the face with like a completely stone look on his face and said, "Why is he here? Why are we talking about him? He's not here."
Right.
Which, if that's his attitude towards shit, he'll be my goalie any day. Like, that's Absolutely. What you got to do. That's what you got to do.
He doesn't let this get into here, and most goalies do that. Most goalies are nutcases, by the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, most goalies are fucking insane. But I'm a little. I am a little concerned about some of the stuff that I am seeing. There are a lot of seeing eye singles getting through on Ullmark.
His 5-hole is
it's a gaping wide chasm between those legs.
On it.
Yep. There we go. I live in a interesting town, so we get a lot of that.
That's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. So. Oh, harsh.
Yeah, that's big yikes.
That's
all right though.
Big yikes. I agree. He's coming from what we said this on the pod last week, is that he's coming from a team where everyone around him was on fire, and he was the only one with the bucket.
Yeah.
And
Not even an extinguisher, a
yeah,
bucket of water,
a
which
buck.
doesn't help.
Yes, and the big thing about it is the thing that tells me that he's going to be fine is that he kept Buffalo afloat for about the first 18 games of the year. Do you know what I know his record was in that first? What his record was his first 18 games last year?
Let's hear it.
9-6-3 with that roster.
Mm-hmm.
He was a above 920 save percentage and had a very good, I think it was like a 2.4, 2.5 goals against. The second he went down, they went on their 18 game losing streak.
Yeah.
So I think Allmark it's kind of hard to call a goalie who has never played more than 35 games in a season, but he's battle tested. He's battle tested. And there are going to be certain things that he needs to work on, and maybe the pressure of there is a little bit of like the pressure of this new deal coming in, 4 years, 20 million. But even if Omar kind of falters a little bit and Swayman takes the number one job, guys, we're still spending less than $6 million in goaltending. Swayman's still on his ELC.
Exactly.
It's not a huge deal if one of them takes over the other, but it's going to be a 1A, 1B situation.
Exactly.
Allmark's not playing 60 games. We're not expecting Allmark to play 60 games. With some of the things that we're hearing, we're expecting Allmark to play 60, 65 games. That's not the league anymore.
No, unless you're Connor Hellebuck or Vasilevsky.
Yeah,
you're not getting that type of time. I would say Tuukka Rask, but not at this point in his career.
Not at this point in his career. It was for a while, but
yeah, before, absolutely, he was.
Yeah, well, when we had the old school coach, we had Claude Julien, and it was Tuukka Rask and Nicholas Svedberg, and then Jonas Gustafsson.
Right. Sometimes Hannu Toivonen.
Hannu!
Yeah, good old Hannu Toivonen. I think he did have Hudobin as well.
He did have Hudobin. He had Hudobin twice.
Yeah.
Yep,
Hudobin. But yeah, then when they went out there and got Halak, that was fantastic because it allowed him to be able to kind of relax a little bit, shorten the amount of games he was playing. Thankfully, Halak was great.
He was nails up until last year.
Yeah, and it was more like towards the end too. I feel like at the start of the season, he was doing pretty well, but then he started slowly tailing off.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, he's in Vancouver now, so good luck with that.
And that's not going to go well for him. If anyone out there thinks that Halak is about to have a good time in Vancouver,
no.
Hell no.
Nope.
They have a horrible defensive system. I mean, I don't like their defense. And OEL being added to it, anyone who thinks that all of a sudden out of nowhere because he's out of Arizona, he's just going to be better. No, not there. It's not going to happen. I hate that for them, but it is what it is.
I'm just so glad that we didn't trade for Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Yeah.
I know that was the scuttlebutt all last fall and all trade deadline and all summer until it finally happened. But I'm just glad he didn't come here.
Yeah.
That was damaged goods.
Absolutely. And if there was anywhere where that player was going to have a rebound, though, it would be a place like here where the defensive system is drilled in and so good. But it would really depend on if he could pick up that style. But I can't say if he would have been fine or not. But here probably would have been a decent spot for him. Not for that price, though. If they ate half of the money, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
And even then, it would be like, okay, you're going to go on the third pair with power play time.
Yeah, that's if he wasn't able to rebound. Yeah. But if he rebounded, Christ, you would have had yourself. Well, if McAvoy can play with Lozon, he can play with anyone other than forward.
Like I said, Jeremy Lauzon did the greatest magic trick in the world last year. He made people think he was an indispensable defensive player.
Right.
Whoops.
I still do think that he has a ceiling of a top 4 shutdown guy, but will he reach that? I think it's unlikely at this point.
Pretty sure he's 8th or 9th on the depth chart in Seattle right now.
Yeah.
So.
And for a Red Sox update for anyone out there, It is the top of the 10th. It is 4-4. Boston has one out. There's a man on first for the Rays. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's for you. I'm not sure where Brett is yet. He should be here, hopefully within the next minute. That'd be great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, am I Brett now?
I think so.
Oh God.
I think so.
Oh God. That means I would have had to have played hockey at some point in my career.
A London junior night.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we're actually going to be doing some breakdowns of some. So we're actually trying this out for. So we did the roundtable last night, and we're only
You guys were
gonna
great, by the way.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be putting. We're going to be putting only the roundtables that we do, or whatever, like maybe one a month. We're going to be putting on the YouTube channel, and in between there's going to be a little break, and there's going to be a video that's over here on the screen. I can't do it right now because I don't have a video uploaded, but a video will pop up, and then me and Brett will be over on the side, and we're gonna do a Bruins play from a game, and we're gonna go ahead and break it down, blah blah blah, all that stuff, kind of like how they do with Andy Brickley does with that
right.
little thing that he does, and
Do some telestrator things.
Right.
Andrew no play hockey. Andrew has 1 3/4 of a hip.
So he does not play hockey, nor did he.
Nope.
I played hockey though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The cerebral palsy made sure I would never play hockey.
Jeez. Rough.
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? You still enjoy the game, and you still talk about the game like you played it. So
yeah, I'll appreciate it.
That
yeah.
helps.
Thank you.
That helps.
So I actually have a question for you.
Okay.
So we talked about the defensive. We talked about McAvoy floorboard and how it kind of makes me want to die inside. But what do you think of Riley Carlo?
I love it. They were great last season. And then when Carlo went down, it sucked for Riley.
Mm-hmm.
It sucked for Riley.
He took on a role that he's not quite built for.
Right.
He was playing 23. He was playing 23 minutes a night.
Right. He's a good complementary piece on that second pairing, but
Absolutely.
he is not a main piece by any means.
Yes.
Carlo is that legitimate main piece. Honestly, if McAvoy was not on this team, I think Carlo could easily be a first pairing guy. I really do. I think he's that good at his shutdown role. Do I think he's better than a lot of the other the other guys out there? No, but on this team, if we didn't have one, I think he could definitely be serviceable. On a Stanley Cup team, probably not, but I do like him in that third spot. But if this guy was a left shot and you had Carlo McAvoy, holy shit. That would be the shutdown guy that you would want for McAvoy.
I love Carlo. I love watching him play defense. I just want him to be healthy. I just want him to stay healthy.
Right. Here's a good one. Why all the hate on John Moore? Did he kill someone's family member? I mean,
well, no.
No, he didn't kill anyone's family member. But he did hurt the feelings of a lot of people who are Boston fans, and you can't do that. You can't hurt Boston fans' feelings because they will absolutely rip you apart. It's not his fault that Sweeney said, "Here's this money, come play for us." Here is 13.
Here's 13. I think it's 13. $13 million over 5 years. Do you want it? Show me someone who's going to say no to that. Show me a guy who's probably a borderline top 4, mostly third pairing defenseman who says no to that, and I'll show you a liar.
Right.
Like, of course he's going to say yes to that.
So he says yes to that. Now, at the time, he was coming off a good season for New Jersey. But that seems to be the MO of Sweeney sometimes. Like, Bolesky was coming off one good season in Anaheim. Playing with Getzlaf when Getzlaf
to be fair, he also scored 10 goals in that postseason.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yep.
So he grabs these guys, he gives them I at the time I really do think that John Moore was worth what he was signed for. At the time for what he did.
Not for 5 years.
Not for 5 years, exactly. Not for 5 years.
Yeah.
But John Moore, unfortunately, has had the injury bug hit him quite a bit here since he's been here. And honestly, I'm happy with his preseason. I think he did well. Do I think that he did well enough to be that $2.75 million player? No. But putting the money out the window, just look at the player and what he's doing. That's a guy who can help you win games.
You know what he is?
As he is now.
You know what he is this year?
He's a decent 7th or 8th defenseman.
Steven Kampfer.
That's a good one.
He's Steven Kampfer.
I loved Kampfer, by the way, last season.
Me too. Me too. He came in, did his job. That's what he's got to be. And if he's that, ignore the money.
Right. I agree.
So excuse me. Personally, I just want to wrap up for Sharon's question. I don't hate John Moore. I hate the term. But I don't hate him for grabbing the contract.
Yeah.
I think he has shown flashes. He really has shown flashes of good, solid play. Like, people forget in the Tahoe game, he was probably our best defenseman.
Right.
He still can skate like the wind. Some of it is just like, positional awareness. He's a lot more of an offensive defenseman than a defensive defenseman, but he's learning how to play the right side for the first time in his career. And he's showing that he's doing whatever the team is asking of him. That's Kampfer as fuck. So I'm cool with it.
And if he's able to pull that off, and Cliffy Hockey is not Cliffy Hockey, and you could have like a more forward pairing on.
Fine.
I'd be fine with that.
Fine. Just play him about 15 minutes a night, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And to wrap up Sharon's real quick, we'll be right back to you, obviously, Gaming. I thought he had a decent preseason. I thought he'd be a surface 7D. Well, just because he cleared waivers and he's down there does not mean he can't come back up before, he can't come back up. He can come back up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's just now he doesn't have to pass through waivers again.
Right.
Yeah.
So he still can be on this team when October 16th comes around.
Mm-hmm. And I think he will be. Bruins like to run 13-8 and 2 as their skating component. So it's probably going to be 13th forward's probably going to be, I think Lazar is out as of right now.
Right.
And will be for the opener.
I don't see it being Studnicka.
I don't see it being Studnicka. It's I don't see it being Wagner either.
No. It could be Steen. No, it won't be. It won't be.
Yeah, Steen got sent down.
So didn't Bleed.
Who's Bleed's still here.
Is he?
Bleed is still here.
It might be Bleed then.
Yeah. No, and not for nothing, but Bleed got a wicked attaboy by being last cut. He's a total 4A player, but I want to give a shout out to him.
I love the player. I thought last season
he worked his ass off in this preseason.
I know. I remember one of his goals last season where he just completely outworked the goaltender, made him look like a dumbass, and put it in the net.
Mm-hmm.
It was so much fun to watch, and he is big. I mean, I know we talk about people who are all about size, but when you're on that fourth line and you're big and you can move the way he does, that is good. That is good. That is an energy guy, a checking guy, someone who can, help allow that, allow to set that tone pretty much.
Yeah. And I will say too, and Danielle, this is for you, in about half of the time on ice in about half of the time on the ice in this preseason, Bleed outchanced, outshot, outhit Trent Frederick.
There's a little tidbit.
And outpossessed. So
that's something I didn't know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I like Bleed.
Yep.
And I think he will end up being that 13th guy until Lazar comes back.
Yeah, until Lazar comes back, and then they'll put him through waivers. No one will claim him. He'll go to Providence, and he'll be part of the Providence leadership team, which is, fine.
Yep, exactly.
He's found his role in this organization, which is why they keep signing him.
Yes. 1 second. All right, so Officer Gaming. Here's a fun, somewhat unrelated question. If you could have one former Bruins player brought back, retired, or still playing, who would it be? Who?
Danton Heinen. Just kidding.
Oh my god, I couldn't wait to get him out of here.
I still think he was a solid 200-foot forward who just got skittish.
Yeah, I just couldn't stand him for whatever reason. I don't know why. I just didn't like him. I went to a Bruins season ticket holder event where we got to take pictures with the players and stuff like that. Krejci was with Heinen. This was November of 2019. So it was right before he got traded at the deadline in February. Krejci was with Heinen. I decided that I was not going to go get my picture taken and meet Krejci because he was with Heinen. That's how much I could care less about Heinen.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I literally decided no thanks.
That's so funny.
So I hung out with Coyle instead. And let me tell you, he is a cool ass dude. He is super cool. He did a video for my mother because my mother's obsessed with Coyle, loves Coyle. He did a short video, like for free too. We're just standing there. And DeBrusque goes, dude, he's got Cameo. I was like, okay, cool. I don't care if he has Cameo or not. Can you do this for me? He's like, oh yeah, I got you. So we did it, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, they're all cool
Jake
dudes.
DeBrusque sticking his nose in.
Oh, literally what he did. He was just like, dude, he's got Cameo. I was like,
that's nice.
Dude, he just
Who
signed
asked?
a $5.25 million contract for the next 6 years. I could give a shit less what he has. I am here asking for a video. Please give it to me.
Yes.
No,
exactly.
I didn't even have to beg or ask. Well, I did have to ask, but
No, Coyle seems like one of the genuine nice guys in the league.
Oh, he was cool. But yeah, back to the question. God, it's so hard to think about that at the top.
I mean, David
Actually,
Krejci.
never mind.
Like, how is
Never
your
mind.
answer not David Krejci?
No, I can tell you why why it's not David Krejci. It says retired or still playing. Does that mean that retired? Obviously, that means that they are back in their prime. I'm assuming so. So Bobby Orr.
Oh, okay. All right.
Bobby Orr, easy, done.
Adam Oates.
Look, that's a good one too. For me, it's Bobby Orr. In my opinion, second best player to ever play the game. I still have Wayne Gretzky as one. All right, let's see. What do we have next? Wouldn't he have to clear again after 30 days?
That
for
is
10
the rule,
games?
yes.
Yeah.
That is the rule. That is correct. And, yeah.
30
But that's
games
not his
for-
role, though.
Yeah.
Points isn't his role. It's work the fourth line wing for 10 minutes a night and be annoying. That's
And
literally been his role.
And he was pretty much playing with mostly Wagner and Corrali when they decided they didn't care to play anymore. So that's where you might see that -8 come from.
Yeah,
I
right.
think plus minus is probably the most useless stat.
It's
in all of
a dog food stat. It's a dog food stat. It helped it. It was like the first analytic stat to ever be used in
Right.
hockey, and I think society as a whole has gone past the need for using plus minus.
It's garbage. Like sometimes though it can be useful, and I'll give you one area where it's useful. Torrey Krug, when he was playing in Boston, in a great defensive system, for some reason, more times than not every season, but a lot of the seasons, this dude was just a flat, horrible negative. Like, and I was just like, how?
Like his best season, like he almost approached 60 points and he was even. And that was like the year we won the President's Trophy.
And what's funny is I think his career plus minus is like a plus 58 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But still, that's not like compared to others, that's not like very good. It is plus. But I mean, it is a weird stat. Sometimes it can be used correctly, but most of the time it's garbage.
Yeah. The only time I would say, okay, actually, now that we're going a little deeper into this, I
kind of like goals against for a goalie on a bad team as well.
Yeah, I will say there's another way that plus minus can be useful. Extreme stats, extreme cases. So, like the year that Adam Oates was coaching, I loved Adam Oates as a player. He was not a good head coach. The year that Adam Oates was coaching the Caps, and Alexander Ovechkin was close to breaking the plus-minus record for the worst plus-minus. That's when it was like fun. He had like a -48 or something like that.
That dude did not care. He was like, just let me stand here in the offensive zone.
Just let me stand here in the slot and rip clappers.
Let me
That's all you
stand on the
need
blue
for.
line, and
Yep.
I'll lift one foot up when we need to be on sides, and then I'll enter the zone, and we're good. That's all I saw.
Oh yeah, I was right. Okay, 2017, 2018 about Krug. He had 59 points and he was an even. His plus-minus was even. So
59 points and an even plus-minus. What else do you got there? Is his career plus-minus still a 58, or is it worse now?
his career plus-minus is it looks like it's about. It looks like that's what it's about. Yeah, about a 58. He had a +11 last year for St. Louis.
Wasn't he playing with Parayko?
No, he actually wasn't. He was playing with Justin Falk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Interesting. Good for Krug. Because one of the things I love to tell Blues fans when they were like, "We got Krug, you're sad." I'm like, "I'm fine, dude.
Yeah.
I'm okay." But you're not going to be when you see his defense.
You're gonna be sad.
Like, I don't know. It's I didn't really get to watch much of him last year, so I can't really speak on how he did. But
well, St. Louis is kind of in this weird limbo right now, which, with Jordan Binnington being as much of a penis as he is, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and Brett is here, so we're actually getting Brett in the host.
Awesome.
Never mind. We are not yet.
Why would you do that?
He said 1 minute. He probably has to let his dogs out.
Okay.
But we will go to Sharon's question.
Okay.
Or just statement. I'd rather see them give Lauko an opportunity on the fourth line. I'd rather Lauko be in Providence this year.
I'd rather Lauko be in Providence as a top six. I don't want to see a talent like Lauko who has some electrifying skills.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a firm top six in the NHL if he can stay healthy. That's been the huge thing with him. So I love Lauko. Sharon, I like where your head's at, and letting Lauko play in the NHL. I do like where your head's at, but I don't want to see Lauko on the fourth line. That's not the role that he's accustomed to, or that's not his role. Like,
it's the same thing that applies for Studnicka. The same thing applies for Lauko.
Sure,
much.
Absolutely. Who do you think ends up as the more impactful pro, Studnicka or Lauko?
I'm gonna say Studnicka, only because I think when it comes down to his 200-foot game and the fact that he's a center, and I think that's gonna probably outweigh it. But I could totally be wrong if Lauko comes in and he still has that pretty good 200-foot game, plus he's absolutely tearing it up as an offensive dynamo, just really fun to watch every night. So it's really
Providence is going to be so fun with him on the top line.
Yeah, with Froden as well.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, I love the camp Froden had.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he was great. He followed up that prospect challenge with a solid camp. He looked really good. He looked so good that they were giving him time with the Marchand Bergeron line at training camp when Pasta was on on a different group.
Yep.
I loved it. At first, when I saw that, I was just like, I wonder if they're just like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and put. Imagine if this happened. Cassie was just like, you know what? This is what we're doing. Froden, you have won an NHL job, and you are on the first line with Pasternak and with Bergeron and Marchand.
Would crash.
Oh, it'd be horrible. It'd be funny. But I love sometimes to watch the world burn, so that'd be so funny. But and then Pasta drops down, and then Craig Smith drops down, and then Foligno drops down, and you're just like, whoa, your right side is pretty crazy right now. If Froden was able to stick, which he wouldn't. But,
No.
He'd be a good. I think he could be a good fourth line guy. But
I was actually surprised about his game. I was expecting something different from him because he's not a big guy. I was expecting a faster water bug guy. No, he's a corners guy.
Yeah,
he's a corners guy.
Gets to the dirty areas.
Yes. I was very pleasantly surprised by like everything I saw from him. He did more to raise his stock than any other player in the preseason this year, and I believe he's going to get in some games.
I agree. So we are now going to welcome in the host of the B-Hive podcast.
Jesus Christ, we didn't even have our host. We've been rudderless.
Here he comes, Bob Barker.
What's going on, guys?
Wait, that's not Bob Barker. What are you doing with that microphone?
What's going on, guys?
He's holding on to it.
Yeah, man. I didn't want to. My arm was giving me trouble as I was setting up, and I was like, abort on the arm. I'll just hold the mic.
You aborted his arm.
Yeah,
but he is here.
it. I'm
He
here.
aborted his arm, and then it grew back.
What's going on,
and
dude?
Danielle, if you're wondering, I see her comments in there. I'm still in the studio. I can see those comments. Don't worry. I'm not in the washroom.
I thought he was just saying, "I'm still in the washroom."
What's this about?
No.
How did
Oh, yeah, I
Matthews
forgot. Today's
score
Thanksgiving.
60 goals in NHL 21?
What?
Probably because Matthews is an elite goal scorer.
Wait, like in the
What?
game or in real life?
I'm assuming in the game. NHL
Yeah.
21 the game. And I'm assuming it's because Matthews is an elite goal scorer. That guy is
Is that in his franchise mode? Because that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
not
not
that shocked
surprising
about
at
it.
Yeah.
I could totally see Matthews scoring 60.
What did
this year.
he put up? What did he put up? Like 45 and 56 games or something.
Yeah, with like a
God.
broken wrist.
So,
Yeah.
and
He's
we
a-
all know how bad his wrist is because we watched it on All or Nothing. So,
Oh,
Happy
heck yeah!
Thanksgiving,
Happy
Brett.
Thanksgiving, Brett. How was the harvest? You guys do Thanksgiving correctly. You actually have it during the harvest.
I know. It was good. I got my gobble in. I'm all stuffed up.
Good.
So my family's from out east, so we have like Newfie Thanksgiving. It's like salted to the nines, beef salt stew. It's good.
What?
It's good. It's bomb.
Beef salt.
Yeah, man.
salt
You've
stew.
never tried it before?
It sounds
No,
It's an out east thing, so I'm surprised.
Beef salt stew sounds like something that Jake DeBrusque would get DoorDash to.
No,
his house.
so beef salt.
No, it has to have Skittles in it.
Yeah,
Skittles.
yeah. And a root beer.
And do
Don't
not
forget
drink
the
water
root beer.
under any circumstances.
No water. I think I listened to that pod episode. I think it was a pod episode where you were like, "Oh, what does Jake DeBrusque need to do this
Yeah.
off season or something like that?" You like
Thomas
drink
was
water.
like, drink. No, that was
Yeah.
Thomas. Thomas
Yeah,
goes,
drink water.
Water.
By the way, thank you, Danielle. I see you out there.
All right, so now that Brett's here, I need to use the bathroom, so I will be right back.
Oh, okay.
Boo.
Very good.
What a rookie, eh? Yeah, Adam. It's just rookie central here, Andrew.
Sorry, I meant the washroom.
The washroom.
The washroom.
So what's up with you, Andrew?
Oh, not a whole hell of a lot. Glad to be doing this with you guys. Kevin and I don't know how much you watched of the stream, but Kevin and I got into some really good shit, really good
Yeah.
discussions.
I caught a couple glimpses of it. There's
Mm-hmm.
some. I felt the heat off my phone screen.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. No, Sharon was spitting some fire questions for us.
Yeah.
So shout out to Sharon Dates. Thank you so much for helping us drive the conversation here.
Yeah. That's good. That's good though. That's good. These live streams are tough sometimes, right? Because half the time it based off on questions, or else it's pretty much like podcast format, right?
Yeah, right.
To the point. But we've had a decent amount of people on our live streams here. Like, they don't watch the whole thing, but at least they ask questions while they're in there, which is always good. We like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I'm watching the Red Sox game right now. It's 4-4.
What did you catch from us? Do you have any questions or comments about anything we've said? Anything you caught?
Well, the Studnicka banter was interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just because it's so like, this is how I feel about it. You had to reward him. So he technically made the team. They sent Wagner down, whatever. I definitely agree with that decision, because this is a guy you asked to do all these things, and whether or not you filled the spots with free agents or not, he still went out, put his head down, and did those things. And
He
as an
exceeded expectations. I think he exceeded expectations. I
100%.
really do.
And as an organization, you have to acknowledge that, or
Mm-hmm.
else you get players like Kotkaniemi who have no confidence. You know what I mean? Like this
Right.
kid, he could play the game, but in Montreal, there's no way he was getting out of that system and lineup. It's a tough example because we're still yet to see if he can produce at the level he was drafted at. But still, you know what I mean? It's that same type of like, you know, it's oh god. It's the same thing as Swayman. You had to get rid of Ladar to tell Swayman, okay, you're our next guy. You know what I mean? And I agreed with that decision. I think you did as well.
I agreed. I agreed with it. I agreed with recouping the 3rd round pick that we lost in the Riley trade. So we ostensibly got rid of a backup goalie that we would have lost due to waivers, and Mike Riley. We got Mike Riley for free. So
yeah. No, I don't know how anybody can be mad at it. No. And like Vladar, I'm glad he's getting his chance at Calgary. He's doing pretty good too. It looks like they like him there. You know,
they really like him. I think he won the backup job over there.
So this is the question that I asked on our podcast last night, or the stream podcast, whatever. And I was going to ask you the same thing. If it becomes a logjam, do you look at trading Studnicka? Because realistically, somebody has to go next year. Before next year, somebody has to.
I think you look at it. I think that if Don Sweeney doesn't, he should be fired because
he'd be a bad
GM. He'd be a bad GM. You need to do your due diligence. There is no sacred cows. There's no such thing as a sacred cow. Anybody. Wayne Gretzky was traded. Anybody can be traded at any time. Yeah. Especially with a prospect. There's no sacred cow prospects. Especially, and hell, you know what? Maybe like if Jack Eichel becomes free, if he has the surgery and Jack Eichel becomes free, and Buffalo says we want Jack Studnicka and a couple of NHL ready players and draft picks. Yeah, you know what? Absolutely, you do that. So
I know it's the same.
That's completely predicated on whether or not Eichel has a surgery. So
100%. And it also goes on the fact that it's like, I'm not saying go out there and be like, hey, Studnicka's for sale. What I'm saying is if San Jose comes knocking and they're like, hey, you want Hurdle? We're looking at Studnicka. You have to listen to that offer. Absolutely. You know what I mean?
I agree. Hurdle's, and it's not even because Hurdle's really good. It's also because
Hurdle is really good, though.
And he is.
He's one of the best centers.
Not only that, it's also because he's 27.
Oh, and everyone would just sign that other than Foligno.
Yeah.
Is around 27, 26, 28. So it's like
right. We got prime guys.
And Studnicka's 24. So you're trading out someone. It's 3 years. I understand 3 years is a lot in the NHL.
I don't even
hate throwing DeBrusk. I don't think Studnicka is ever going to be Hurdle. I don't think so at all.
I think at his best, he's going to be a solid middle six center who can quarterback a penalty kill.
Okay, that's funny you say that because I have an exact guy. Okay. You go first, Kevin.
All right, I'll say my guy real quick.
Yeah.
I think he could be a Sean Monahan.
I'm just going to say, I always tell people he's going to be Sean Monahan. He's going to be a 2C that could be a way better 3C, but is going to be a 2C.
You know what's funny?
Monahan's produced points. You think, but Monahan's had a couple of 70-point seasons under his belt. Do you think?
I think Studnicka can definitely have a couple of 70-point seasons.
Yeah, I think eventually.
Wow. Okay, I don't see that. I don't see that.
You don't.
I totally think he could.
Okay. I see. Maybe at his ceiling, I would see maybe like a 55, 60-point season.
But you also have to remember a couple of those seasons, Monahan was the 1C before Lindholm came over and took that job from him. So he was getting minutes with Jerome McGinley at the time when he came in as a rookie and Goudreau. So there's guys that are going to drive points.
Some dynamicism. Yep.
So let's say Sean Monahan, the 200-foot player.
Would you trade Studnicka for him?
No. Okay. I don't think so. I don't know. I'm
not curious. Not this version of Monahan. This version of Monahan's kind of fallen off a little bit.
I haven't kept an eye on him. So I was just curious.
No,
I give Beecher up. I give Beecher up for Monahan though.
Oh yeah, well, he's injured again. Beecher's the biggest.
Exactly.
Does he join Providence this year after he's
No.
done college, or do you think he plays college out and doesn't even sign with the Bees? Because I think there's a possibility that happens.
I don't think there's a possibility he doesn't join the Bees. I think there's a very distinct possibility he finishes college.
Yeah, full.
We do have a
4-star.
question here, though.
Yeah.
Yo.
Fellas, what's up? Hey, what is
What's up, Ryan?
Duffy?
Ryan, what's up, buddy?
I had the pleasure of meeting Duffy at training camp. That was a lot of fun. So he says, thoughts on the second line with Coyle? Although I love Smith as a Bruin, I just think that Smith and Hall are on different pages at times. So I think the second line is going to be great with Coyle. We've already gone over this, but I would love to go over it again because I'm so excited about it. As you know, I do have a prediction that Coyle will have a 60-point season. That is well noted and documented. And his showing in preseason upped that for me. If he can come out and be that player I don't expect him to get points every game, or else he would be a 82-point player. But to keep that style of play and to keep that effort going, I see no reason why he cannot be a 60-point player on that second line next to Taylor Hall.
It's just one game, dude.
I don't care. It's a Coyle that I haven't seen since the 2019
No,
postseason.
dude, you know I'm on the same page. I'm Team Coyle. I love the guy. We pay him the money. He deserves the first shot. Until I'm like, okay, let's say he comes out. Okay, let's just throw hypotheticals out there. Fuck it. Let's say he comes out the first 5 games and he's -7 with 2 assists. Yeah, I definitely think you try someone else there. But for the time being and the type of player Coyle is,
that would be a disaster.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, I just ultimately think you're gonna get. It's gonna be a very blue collar line this year. Guys that just pick their lunch pails up and go to work, and Taylor Hall's gonna have to adapt his game to that, which is I don't think is gonna bother him at all because he played a whole or half a year beside Dvorak and put up some of the best numbers in his whole career. So, and Dvorak's a defensive center.
Yeah, I don't think it bothers him either because he showed a lot of the small things that it takes to win in terms of, back checking. He would make one play a game during the season when he came to Boston where he would just like break up a play off the back check, which is like Buffalo fans were screaming into the void going, where was this the whole time? You know what I mean? And I think he bought in. He bought in wholesale. So I don't think he's going to have a problem adjusting to that.
Andrew, do you want to pick up the part here where he says, "I just think that Smith and Hall are on different pages at times"? What do you think about?
Wait, one thing.
Well, I want to answer. I'll answer that with a question. Could you elaborate a little bit on that because I haven't seen that.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Because I was gonna say, with Hall, it's funny because I think it was on 32 Thoughts. I'm not 100% sure, but it was a very quick snippet on a podcast where they were comparing a player to Hall and how well Hall bought into the Bruins. But then the other person on the podcast mentioned that locker room, like the Bruins locker room, is a locker room that if you don't fit in, you are pushed out very quickly. And hearing that really made me think back on other trades and not signing Richie, not signing Kasha, like just things like that, where it's like, well, you bring in Halla, who's I think he's Czech, right? I think him and
Halla
Pascal
is
Czech.
Swedish.
Is he Swedish?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's no 6 that's Czech.
Yeah. No 6 Czech.
No
there you
from
go.
Czech. Yeah.
Yes. So there, no 6 Czech. They brought in Foligno, who's friends with Bergeron in the offseason. They hang out.
No, I'm sorry. Halla is Finnish. Halla is Finnish. My friend
there you go. You're right.
told
It
me.
is Finnish.
Halla is Finnish.
Yeah. But they brought in guys who are gonna buy in to this culture and need to win now or want to win now in other people's situations.
No, I think that's a really good point. How it's such a tight knit room, and one thing that Don Sweeney is really good at. I know I'm not allowed to say good things about Don Sweeney as a Bruins fan, but one thing, how dare! But one thing that Don Sweeney is really, really good at is being a salesman for that room, selling that room, selling free agents on that room, and trade guys on that room, and having people take less money because you're going to be part of something special.
And don't get me wrong, it does hurt you at times because look at the playoffs last year when they started Rask and not Swayman. The room definitely had the floor at that point, and the right decision wasn't made in I think most people's eyes, right? Like Cassidy should have taken hold of the room at that point, and right. But it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, right?
There is an argument to be had of whether it would be a good idea to start a goaltender game in an elimination game in the playoffs where he's had less than 20 games pro experience.
I mean the game before where he couldn't move in warm-ups and they played him.
Okay, now I
that
understand.
game.
Okay, all
yes,
right.
That game.
Yeah.
The game where they were on I have Hockey Night in Canada up here. They were on Hockey Night in Canada showing him before the puck drop like he can't move. And I was like, "Oh, cool." I was taking videos of it and sending it to people on Black and Gold Network like this does not look good. I don't know if it's they're showing you this down on the American network, but that's the game where I was like, that's where you got to take the room and be like, okay, we watched you in warm-ups, but whatever happened.
Yeah. Can I say one thing that might be a little bit controversial, but whatever?
Please.
It's live, dude. So go ahead.
Fuck it. Do it live.
I am actually glad that he didn't start Swayman in that game. And I'm going to tell you why. 5
or 6 though.
Both. And I'm going to tell you why. Even if we made it past the Islanders, I don't care what anyone says. We were not getting past Tampa last year. Was not happening. We got a better draft spot because of that.
Okay.
You know what?
So
we now have
the long game here.
We
Kevin.
now have LaSalle.
Yeah. Hey, no, I'm not mad about what happened in 2 weird years. Like, if we're really going to look at it, we won the season before COVID. There was like a 2 to 3 month break and then a whole nother playoff tournament style bubble that Tampa won. Yes, they won the cup and it was probably one of the hardest cups to win. I keep hearing players say that, whatever. I wasn't there, right? We weren't there. So we don't know.
Right.
I'm not going to call it a fake cup, but you are right about
that's
BS, man.
Yeah,
because
there's no such thing as an asterisk cup.
No, those players went through hell in that fucking bubble. So I'm not calling it that at all. Yeah, but I will say, last year if we met Tampa, we got our shit pumped.
Absolutely.
2 times.
Yeah, and honestly, the Islanders, the fact that they were able to absolutely just take them to a game 7 and almost take them out. God, they are scary. Like, that is scary. They don't match up well, obviously. Right. But let's move on here. Sharon says, but what if Bergeron doesn't come back next season?
You shut your mouth. I'm sorry.
Bergeron does not come back next season.
You shut your mouth. I don't want to hear it.
You're
I will not respond to this reality.
Let's take the reality.
All right, let's be fair.
Yeah, let's take the reality that Bergeron doesn't come back next season. At that point, I'm going to tell you one thing. We're not trading for Hurdle this season. So if anyone thinks that's going to happen, I do not think that is going to happen.
Well, it's because San Jose can't blow it up.
Right. But if Hurdle makes it to free agency, you better hope that you can land a player like that, because that's the type of player who could take over that first line for you. But free agency is pretty deep next season, so I'm not sure what other centers could be available. Barkov is now off the table. I'd have to look it up. Let's look that up, actually. Let's see what next season's free agency class is.
As of right now.
So that'd be the 2022 free agency class.
All right, I'll take this, guys. If Bergeron doesn't come back next season, we are fucked.
That's what I said.
No, at a franchise that is in... you kind of have to play this like Pittsburgh. If you have Marchand or Bergeron, you kind of have to go for it at this point. I don't know why we weren't doing this for the past fucking 5 years, but whatever.
Are you ready for this?
Oh no, I have it up in front of my screen right now. The free agency
Bro.
this next year is
We're going.
let's-
Anybody watching the Red
hold
Sox
on.
game? We're going to inning 12. Just gonna
Yeah.
say that.
Yes. Now, you ready for this?
It was a big strikeout.
Here are your centers who will be available
It's not a big list.
if of course they don't re-sign. Evgeny Malkin, Claude Giroux, Joe Pavelski,
Okay.
technically Patrice Bergeron.
Stop. Real quick. Okay. Imagine Pittsburgh is shit. Okay. They're going for Shane Wright. They want. I can see Andrew's face. They
stop
want.
right there.
Wait. Hear me
Imagine
out.
Malkin stays healthy.
No. He's injured right now.
I know, but
So-
imagine he stays healthy.
Yeah, so he gets healthy, he starts playing good. We do what Toronto and Tampa and all them do, and we get Pittsburgh to trade him to Arizona or Buffalo, and the Buffalo to trade him to us 50%. We get him at like 2.75. Malkin. Would
Not
you
gonna happen.
give Studnicka
No,
and okay. I was just curious.
I would not.
I was just working the trade up. I just wanted some drama.
I would not give Studnicka for him.
Okay.
I
So
just-
John Beecher, a second, and Zaboral.
That'll get you Jack Eichel if Kevin Adams is still at the helm.
Yeah,
a
that's
young player with
true.
term.
Sidebar, do you think Eichel forces a trade to Boston?
No, he can't yet.
Eventually, though? If this thing isn't
It
made
doesn't
up by
get that
next,
far. There's no way
you don't
it
think
gets
it gets
that
till
far.
next July?
No. I don't
Dude,
think so.
I didn't think it was going to get this far.
Kevin Adams knows that.
It's not his call anymore. There's no way it's his call.
But Kevin Adams knows that
There's
that
no way,
that
dude.
it's going to kick in, and there's no way he's going to allow that to happen.
The
again.
Here's the thing, though.
He'll lose
Here's
his
the thing, though. Brett's right on. Kevin Adams ain't doing shit right now.
right
He's-
now, but it's not going to
I
get.
got my
to next
MJ
season.
arms up right now.
Yep.
It's not going to get to next season. But
You
let's
wanna know
continue this
what-
list real quick.
Actually,
okay.
hang on a second.
We'll go on the
I wanna.
Yeah, and let Andrew in. Because
I wanna
I've just
finish this
come
thought up
in
and then
and
we'll
I've
go
just been dropping Hiroshimas after Hiroshimas. So let Andrew talk.
But okay, right now, Kevin Adams could wrestle control from this situation back, absolutely. But the moment that he went rogue in the media and said, "We are in control of this situation," Terry Pagula was like, "I'm gonna need you to sit the next few plays out, bro."
Yeah, man. Honestly. Like
That was the most embarrassing thing I have seen a general manager do in a hockey sense in about 10 years.
okay, so Andrew, I'm gonna ask you this question then.
Yeah.
Who do you think steps in first, the NHL or Kevin Adams? Because
I
you
don't
know
know
that
I don't know if the NHL can step in.
No, they've talked to lawyers.
Elliot Freeman thinks that it's gonna come down to a legal.
But-
This is just I'm just spitting out someone else's bullshit that he thinks it's gonna come down to a legal case of Paperson, the NHL, and the Pagulas.
But Elliot Friedman also said that he's talked to plenty of lawyers who said they would most likely lose.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear that part, but
Yeah,
okay.
no,
I
they
believe
would-
you. I believe you.
Yeah, the NHL can't step in because there's no legal precedent for this.
No.
They
because-
screwed themselves by signing away in the CBA.
Yeah, and the thing of it, the big thing of this is that Jack Eichel could tomorrow get up, go to his doctor, and say, "Give me the disc replacement surgery." The Sabres could respond, take the $80 million that he still owed on this contract and light it on fire.
Yeah.
Then you will see a legal shitstorm.
Well, see, that's what Jeff Merrick says. Jeff Merrick was like, well, what happens when somebody just asks for forgiveness instead of approval?
Permission,
And then,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because then it's like, what are you going to do? It's done. And then, like you just said, that's
You're still
going
to want to trade the player at least. I mean,
Well, then, no, Buffalo, I will admit, Buffalo has to be compensated for this. I don't care.
Yeah.
That whether the
100%.
NHL steps in or not, they need to be compensated for this. That's bullshit. He's a
Yeah.
star player. Whether or not they're being pieces of shits or not, that's bullshit. I don't know.
right. Let's get on to Ryan Duffy here. Just think Smitty is a better fit for the third line. My prediction is that Coyle works out on the second line, then the Bruins shop for a second line right wing come deadline. That's something I have not thought about, to be honest. That thought has never crossed my mind, to be honest. But one thing I will say is that Smith is a middle six winger. I mean, who would probably be better for a third.
You could almost say he's a top. You could almost say he's a top 9 winger.
I agree with the way he played next to Bergeron and Marchand.
Yeah, but with assignment. That's what I was gonna say. With assignment, like I mean, like on a team like Nashville, he's not a top line guy. But on a team like Boston, where you have 2 world-class players on the line, you can get away with having a guy like him who brings his lunch pail and just goes to work every day.
But it's got to be a player like him, though, because we've seen it time and time again where they put players like Brett Connolly up there with them. And, players that just weren't working out. It actually took a while for that line to finally find a right winger, and that's when Pastrnak came along. Before
Brett Connolly was the biggest example of square peg and round hole, where Claude Julien continued to put him on the top line that year.
Andrew, even better, the kids' toys that are like smushed on the side because the kid's pushing it in so hard. That's what the toy looked like at the end.
By the end of that season, I believe he had played most of the year on the top line, and he had 25 points.
That was some weird.
Let's play with this idea, though. Let's say this actually happens, what he just said, okay? What are some
Who's available?
Yeah, who's available? What right
Riley
wingers?
Smith.
Forsberg.
I love Riley Smith. Is Forsberg right winger, or is he a left winger center?
He's a right-handed player, though, so I don't know what he
Philip
plays.
Forsberg. Nashville is about a hair's breadth away from blowing the whole thing sky high.
Exactly.
Except for Ekholm. They're not moving on from Ekholm.
Ekholm's going to be one of the pillars in the rebuild, one of the vet pillars in the rebuild. Ryan, I could see your comment here. See Phil Kessel. I'd rather swallow bees.
Yeah, that doesn't do you anything. You have
that doesn't move the needle.
Spot.
No.
Yeah, because you're not gonna. He's not gonna take Smith's spot. Sorry, I don't care.
Unless a team has about 12 second round picks, because I think that's what Arizona's doing. I think they just want the entire second round.
Yeah,
I think Forsberg would be great.
Who would be interesting as a right winger on that line between Coyle and Hall is Johnny Gaudreau. He plays both
Isn't
wings.
he a left winger?
He plays both wings, though.
He plays both wings. But the thing is, for that, is that I don't think Calgary, as much as they need to blow it up over there, I don't think they're going to.
No, with them signing Sutter to that what is it? It was a 3-year contract, including last year. So he has 2 more years to figure it out before they blow it up. But it might, you got Monahan coming up in 2 years, Gaudreau coming up this year. They were going to have Giordano.
I honestly think it's Gaudreau or Monahan, though. They're going to pick one of the two, and the other one
either a right wing or a center.
I see Gaudreau going because they have Kachuk. And he's definitely probably going to be their captain.
Kachuk, I think. Probably. I don't know.
Calgary, what's really interesting? Say Toronto shits the bed. Would you be interested in Morgan Riley? Would you take
a flyer? That's a left shot, isn't he?
Yeah. So you play with McAvoy.
I think he's
play with McAvoy.
I think he's a legit.
He's probably going to play on Team Canada this year. Probably.
Yeah, he's a legitimate top pairing defenseman.
But that's if Toronto's shitting the bed. They have to
probably look really good next to McAvoy.
Imagine you send DeBrusque there for the trifecta of DeBrusque, Kasha, and Richie.
My realistic option.
Andrew's face. He was like, I need a second for that.
No, but my realistic option for a left shot defenseman, if it comes down to us needing to get another guy who could play next to McAvoy, is actually Hampus Lindholm.
Yeah, you said that.
Out of Anaheim.
See, they're going to want an arm and a leg for that.
Well, yeah. I think that's the Ducks don't have much.
Yeah.
So, young.
And defense, they literally have given up on every defense that has went to other teams and done well. So I
They'll
don't know
still
what
have
they're
Fowler.
doing.
They'll still have
Fowler's
Manson.
not good though. I'm sorry. I don't know who thinks Fowler's good. When people wanted Fowler, I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't want him, but what I'm saying is they'll still have him. But Hampus Lindholm is a good trade chip for them. They're not doing shit this year. Let's make that clear. They need
got
to
that youth
continue
move, man.
rebuilding here.
Yeah, they got they're gonna have Jamie Drysdale playing top 4 minutes over there, and he looked like a deer in fucking headlights as an
Did he?
18-year-old last year. Yes, he did.
Really? I didn't
Mhm.
catch many West
No,
Coast
he
games,
was.
so.
He was. If
Zegras looks nasty already.
Zegras is nice.
Yeah.
Zegras is nice.
I saw him and Raquel already have some nice chemistry.
That would be somebody who that's somebody who I've wanted for about 2 or 3
Yeah,
years.
I'd take.
Raquel.
Yep. Yeah.
Raquel, yeah, I like.
When
that
we
player.
got Richie and Kasha, I was like,
That's a right winger.
Why not just
Isn't
throw
he?
Hyman in that deal and get Raquel?
Hold
back?
on, Raquel, right winger.
He plays
believe
both
so.
sides, I think.
Okay,
But yes, right.
So
winger.
what do you think about a
And he's
Lindholm
Czech
Raquel,
too.
a Lindholm and Raquel deal to Boston?
Who do you give up?
Yeah,
do
you're
you
giving
give
up DeBrusk, Studnicka, probably Beecher, Vakanainen. Like that's gonna be a big package.
I
deal.
think DeBrusk would go the other way,
your whole prospect pool.
which would allow Studnicka to have a spot at that center position on the third line, in between Smith and Holla, and then
put
have Raquel,
Foligno- Oh
Coyle,
man,
Paul.
I just don't see.
and then
them.
you'd have Foligno, no second Lazar on the
You
fourth
think
line.
they'd pay Foligno $3.8 million?
Doesn't matter.
Sorry to
Put the money out. Put the money out.
I don't know, man.
Here's
That's a
my
tough
Think about
question.
this. Think
Here's
about
my
this.
question. Here's my question. Since we're talking about people that would require hauls, is there anything out there realistic? I'm going to put that out there. Realistic that would convince you to let go of Fabian Liesel.
Realistic? Oh,
I would need
God.
term. I would need term.
I would need term on Hurdle.
Mhm.
I would
Term
need
on
term
Hurdle?
on Hurdle.
Okay.
And I would do it.
I would do. Yeah, I would do Lascelles and a third.
And the reason for
her.
that is because the center position is
Give me a
what we
second.
need right now, big time.
Can I answer this in 2 seconds? I'm looking at 2023 UFAs. So guy with a year and then another year on top of that.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
See, then you're looking at, okay, I'm just going to name some guys. Then you're looking at Sean Monahan, Nathan McKinnon, not going to happen. Dylan Larkin, that's interesting.
I'm out on Larkin and on Monahan for LaSalle.
It's pretty, you're not getting Jonathan Huber, though.
No.
You're not getting Bo Horvat, who would be a pretty good 1 or 2C.
Mm-hmm. I think
It's
Horvat
pretty
is just,
thin.
I'm
It's
pretty
pretty
sure
thin.
Horvat's a really good 2C on a good team.
But they love him in Vancouver.
Yeah, well,
But see,
They
they just
also-
paid
they
those
also-
guys all that money, right?
yeah, exactly.
For me, Sharon, it would have to be a legitimate number one center with term and young.
You know what I want to see this year?
And that's what I would give up LaSalle for.
Right.
You know-
Because I know that it would be great to have a Pasternak, LaSalle, kind of 1-2 punch on the right side, but you can find other options for your right side. I think the
100%.
center position is much more valuable
Yeah.
at this point in the Bruins. Not even rebuild, not even competitive rebuild, not even retool. It's literally, it seems like if they can shore up that center position, they're going from one core to another immediately. Like that's literally what would happen.
Right.
By the way, in 2020, what do you think about Timo Meyer? He's kind of fallen off.
That sounds like a kind of deal where I'll give you my problem for your problem at this point.
It does.
Yeah.
Officer Gaming
And
says
he, and,
JT
and he
Miller.
makes $6 million a year. So it's a big
No,
problem.
I'd be.
Yeah.
Nope.
But you know who needs to be signed in 2023 is David Pasternak.
Yeah.
David.
Real quick
So-
though, you want to know who's an unrealistic target that I would give up LaSalle and Studnicka for?
Those are my favorites.
Both of them. Braden Point.
He just signed an 8-year ticket, though.
Yeah, 8-year,
Good luck.
9.5.
And I
Yeah.
would pay it out of my own wallet.
Ah!
You've tried it. This is the third time he's tried to start up a GoFundMe to pay a player's salary.
But who is out there that you're willing to give up a first round pick?
I don't see anybody in the next couple years. I don't think it's worth it with the drafts that are coming up and how deep they're. That's
This
my
draft,
2 cents.
Honestly,
Dude,
the player,
The
well,
next
hold on.
3 are stacked.
Yes, but for this year, the only player that I'm willing to give up that first round pick for, with term, it has to be a sign and trade, is Hurdle. He's young, very good top line center.
He has an
That's the only one.
affordable cap that you can bring in this year too.
Because while 2022 is presumed to be extremely deep, the odds of us picking in the later rounds of the first is tremendous. I could totally see this team being a conference final team. And it's still kind of a hit or miss at that point. It may be really deep, but it's still such a gamble in the last part of the first round.
Well, I know for a fact this next year is deep because of Shane Wright and like the top 10, but like the year after with Bedard and that Russian kid that's lighting it up in the KHL, they're both in the same draft year. And then there's like a couple other kids that have been lighting it up in Europe. So that's the year that's real. Like I'd be more up to giving a first round pick this year than next year.
Exactly what I was just saying. Yeah. This year's pick, and it would be for a guy like her.
We're not getting Shane Wright. It's not happening.
No.
And other than that, I haven't heard that many big names. I know it's a deep draft, but I haven't heard that many big names.
Buffalo needs Shane Wright. Like,
dude, they didn't
I don't want them. I don't
Owen
want
Power.
them to get Shane Wright. I do not want them to get Shane Wright, but they
should have traded
Shane
Andrew
Wright.
Taverna, this one's for you. Buffalo needs to be relocated.
It's true. It's
to
true.
Quebec City. Let's bring back the Nordiques.
It is so true, though. It's atrocious what's going on there, and the fan base doesn't deserve it. The fan base is extremely passionate.
What you should do is, move the team to Houston and then bring Chicago over to our division. That's what they should do.
I don't want Chicago
or Columbus. Division. Columbus would be better, actually.
Yeah, I don't want Chicago near our division.
Ohio's closer to Toronto, right, than Chicago, I think.
Ohio is closer to us than Chicago is. Yes.
Okay, so there you go. I know it's right across one of the lakes.
And I feel like Columbus would probably join the Metro.
Well, Columbus was in our division for like a year or two.
Well, Columbus is in the Metro. What am I fucking talking about?
I was gonna say, I'm like, where are you going with this, Kevin?
What am I talking about?
No, they were in the. They came in the Central, didn't they? Because of Atlanta, or no, not Atlanta, because of Winnipeg. Where did they come from?
Where are y'all going here?
I don't know.
My mind hurts.
I'm just thinking of expansion teams now. My brain's doing the Zach Galifianakis meme where it's just the fucking
where all the numbers are just...
Yeah.
Seriously though, Buffalo, they need Shane Wright. I don't want them to have Shane Wright, but they need him because Eichel's out the door.
If I was Buffalo, I'm taking Beniers over Powers. I'm sorry. I know Powers.
That already happened, so I mean.
I know. Like
Andrew, you can give yours, but we will not be giving ours because our next episode that will be dropping Wednesday, we have our Atlantic division.
We've kind of given it. We've kind of given our we kind of gave our preliminary predictions a few weeks back once free agency started, but we are doing a predictions episode next week. So I am also going to abstain.
Yeah, hold on to it.
Yeah.
Listen to the Short Shift pod, guys. You'll hear it there.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, everyone's got their predictions coming out. So...
This week, I think, most likely.
Yeah.
We got our predictions and we got a guest, but we have no idea who it is because Thomas won't tell us. So
but
Thomas is always spicy like that.
He is.
I will give one little tidbit to an Atlantic division prediction, and that is that I believe Tampa will still finish first place.
False. I'm out on that. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm
out.
I'm not there either. I'm out. But I will tell you this. The Buffalo Sabres finish in last place.
True. I should have said that.
So that was one. So we did beer bets a few weeks back.
Yeah, I heard this. Yeah, explain it.
Okay, all right. So anybody who hasn't heard that, I have Buffalo winning 14 games. and getting 40 points. 14, 56, and 12 is my record, my prediction record for them.
Man,
Is it absolutely outlandish? It's outlandish that it isn't outlandish.
Yeah. Like, honestly, man, I heard you and I was like, Andrew's crazy. And then it sat in my brain for the rest of my break. And then the rest of my shit, like going into my next break, and I'm sitting there on my next break and I'm like, holy shit, Buffalo might only win like 12 games this year. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking about it and I was like, realistically, Michigan's a better team than Buffalo this year.
That's exactly
like realistically.
That's exactly what happened to Thomas and Ian. When I first did it, they were like, "You're crazy. There's no way." Yeah. But as I kept talking, they were like, "Wait."
Honestly, man, it's not out of the realm. Like, Detroit was pretty close a couple years ago.
The stoppage in the season was probably a good thing that happened to them.
Exactly. So Craig Anderson is your starter, and it is not 2002.
And they don't even have Dell now.
It's 20 years later.
And I don't even think Dell is going to be there.
No, Dell.
No, he's on
waivers. I think it's going to be Tokarski.
I think he got sick, though. So I do want to clarify that. I think he had like heart problems or something.
No, that's Alex Stalock for Minnesota.
Okay.
That's Alex Stalock for Edmonton.
You're right. Right. I knew it was a goalie, but I couldn't remember who.
Yeah, no, it was Dell and Dustin Tokarski, who has 47 career NHL games.
I heard you say that on the
and above 3 goals against average is your backup goaltender to your 40-year-old goaltender who you signed, who was retired when you signed him.
Literally, like I don't know. But I heard on 32 Thoughts they were saying that more than likely Craig Anderson is a coach for what's his name?
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, he will never ever be able to say that name.
No. We have there's a listener on the
pod. That's why I knew you knew it.
Yep. There was a listener on the pod who likes to DM me.
She scorched you guys, eh?
Tia is the best. I love her.
I know.
Great. She'll like DM me and be like, "Okay, whose name did you fuck this week? Let's see."
I swear she's wrong on Lysell. I swear it's Lysell because
Fabian Lysell.
It's okay, so it's Lysell. Okay.
Fabian Lysell.
Yeah, because I remember the first time I heard Ian say it, he said it's so messed up. I was like, "That's not right."
Well, I mean, to be fair, Brett, don't take my word for it because I can't even pronounce Kelowna right.
Dude, I was dying. I couldn't stop laughing. I paused it twice. Literally, I was like, oh my God. I was like, that was so good. I couldn't wait to get to my break to tweet that. I was like, fuck, I'm roasting Andrew for this one.
No, it's Thomas who's getting amazing with the edits, just putting in the buzzers.
Yeah, he's getting real.
That is some good stuff.
I know. I heard that and I was like, damn it, I should have thought of that first. Yeah, right, like that's mint. I love it. And the sexy music, the Studnicka music, it's bound.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
So back to the Bruins. Sharon does have a question here. Dude, so what do you think the opening night roster against Dallas will be? I will speak for all of us because I'm pretty sure every single one of us is going to say the same thing. It'll be Marchand, Bergeron, Pastrnak,
Ding,
Hall. I'm just kidding. Whoa. Coyle, Smith.
Whoa.
And then it'll be DeBrusk, Bleed. Just kidding. Holla, Foligno.
And then it'll be heart attack, dude.
And then it'll be Frederick.
No Bleed.
Nosek. No Bleed. Nosek and Kuhlman. Mm-hmm. And then if someone else wants to take the defense.
So the defense is going to be Grzelcyk, McAvoy.
Yeah. Hey, and Andrew should be. Now continue.
It's a Forbort, McAvoy. I feel dirty just saying it.
I know.
Dirty boy.
Forbort, McAvoy, Riley Carlo, and then Grzelcyk, Clifton, and then. But now, okay. Here's the question, which I'm guessing Sharon kind of led us to indirectly.
The goalies.
Who starts?
I'm gonna say this. I believe it's gonna be Ullmark. I
It's
want it to be
probably gonna
Swayman.
be.
I want it to be
I
Swayman, but I
know.
think it'll be Allmark.
Mhm.
But see, the only reason I think so is because they held on to Studnicka to be like, attaboy. Now they might be like to Allmark, well, we don't want to fuck his confidence up. Win or lose, is it
It's-
Saturday or
It's an
Sunday?
interconference game.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like
You know,
we'll
I
play
mean, you
sway
want to
game
get the 2
2.
points. You want to get the 2 points, obviously, but maybe this one doesn't have as much of an importance in the standings.
He'll be at home.
We did not forget Wagner,
We absolutely did not forget Wagner.
but I think this is literally going to come down to the day before the game where they're making their decision on who that goaltender is going to be.
Yeah, no. I think I think Cassidy knows, but he's gonna kind of be cagey about it, as he should.
He's gonna see practices through. He's gonna do his due diligence and make sure that he's completely sure. But I think you're right. I think he knows in the back of his mind it's most likely going to be Allmark. I really, that's where I'm at. Where are you at it, Andrew? I don't know if you said it already. My mind hurts today.
I think it's going to be Allmark, and for the exact reasons that Brett said. I think there is a value in getting his confidence up.
And we spoke about that earlier too.
Yeah, right.
So we're all in agreement.
Right.
It's one of those moves that you make because you want to make sure that that player has no more wavering, stuff in his mind.
I don't think Swayman has any confidence issues. That boy knows what he is.
You could send him down to Providence, and that dude would stand on his head and say, "Thank you. I can't wait to see the Bruins team again next season." Like that's
no,
how
you could
he
send him to
is.
Providence, and he would say, "Thank you. I'm about to torch this bitch."
Exactly. Like, watch this. This is gonna be fun.
Right.
Like, that's just what would happen.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think Allmark starts to see how he does, and then figure the next few games. I think it'll be Swayman directly after the next game. I think they're going to go that 1-2 punch there.
This is going to be a 1A 1B situation for maybe about the first 10-15 games, and then if somebody starts to separate themselves, they'll get like kind of like Ian calls it a 9-6 split of games.
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ian, Bruins low qual. If you guys don't know, check out his YouTube, Low Quality Bruins Fan.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Comment, and subscribe. Also, check him out, obviously, on the Short Shift podcast. But he brought up a really interesting, I believe it was him on your guys' last pod. He brought up a really interesting point. You start Swayman for the first 2, and then you bring in Allmark for the second 2 against Buffalo and San Jose. To help boost that confidence. I thought that was a really good point.
And we were like, hey.
That was a really good point. I'm not going to lie. For a guy who's trying to shake the rust off and a guy who's trying to get himself back into things, what better than to play against Dumpster Fire and
Western
Dumpster Fire
Dumpster
Jr.?
Fire. Yeah, Western Dumpster Fire. Yeah.
It just makes sense. Will they do that though? Probably not. Kind of like how I'm always talking about. I would love to see Hall and Pasternak together. Is it a good idea? Depends who you talk to. But it's not going to happen.
You'll see it in spurts.
But full time, it's not going to happen like I wanted.
Right.
Because God, Hall and Pasternak together.
Please, please don't come on air. We already had that with Ian and Studnicka.
Him and I should never do another podcast episode together because it'd just be the both of us the entire time. Like,
oh God.
We just
The
say
South
Studnicka
Park
or
meme.
Pasternak and Hall, and it'd just be over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Stood thicker.
Oh, I love it, boys.
Oh God, what's going on?
I
in your
know.
brain today, gaming?
No. I'm gonna quote Ron White. We have a thought. Let it go.
I have a question for you, Officer Gaming. When's your first podcast episode coming out?
Oh, he already said. I think he said the 15th.
Okay.
Is that a Wednesday? Because we got Wednesdays. I'm just kidding.
Oh no! Fight!
No, the
BNG
15th.
fight.
The 15th is a Friday.
Oh, that's fine. That's when we put out our video podcast.
Who do you think will be the Bruins' biggest competition in their division this year? Ooh.
In terms of
Florida.
what? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shut and closed. I don't think Toronto's doing good. Andrew, I want to talk to you about this.
Are we talking
Wait,
about...
hang on. Let Kevin go. Hold on to that.
Yeah.
Are we talking about standings-wise, or are we talking about playing head-to-head-wise? That's two different things for me.
Well, head to head, it'll be like the Buffalo Sabres,
No.
knowing Bruins.
Head
Like,
to head, I think it was going to be Tampa. They give us fits
yeah,
all
Tampa.
the time.
The Islanders are tough for us. But
Standings-wise,
they're not in
though?
our division though.
Yeah, no, they're in the Metro.
Yeah.
For my
so,
predictions, actually, standings wise, it would also be Tampa because I have them finishing first.
yeah, I got
But,
Florida. Okay.
I could see it being either of the two Florida teams, to be honest.
Why are they even in our division? Can we redraw the lines at this point? Like the divisions don't make sense at all. Carolina, dude. The only reason Florida's in our division is because the way that like they expanded the league at that time.
I'll
And
take
there wasn't
Carolina if they
other
want to
teams.
continue handing out their young goaltenders like they're
Realistically,
They
we
can come
should be
here.
in the Metro, but whatever. Anyways,
Oh man, we torched Carolina for about like a 2-3 episode arc during the offseason.
I don't know what their
Oh.
thought process was going into this offseason, but if they had something better going, they fucked
man,
that up.
people think that they're still going to be fine because of Rob Brandamore. Sorry,
Brendan Moore's a good coach.
Yeah,
Not
like,
gonna
he's
take
got
nothing-
that-
Take nothing away from him.
he's got that thing Torts has, where it's like they have that thing to make they can get the best out of their players, basically. Like on Toronto Maple Leafs, Matt Martin looked like a ECHLer, and on the Islanders, yeah, he looks like a fourth liner, but he's a very serviceable.
But he looks like
fourth
an
liner.
NHL player.
Yeah,
That's very,
you
very
know what I
different.
mean? Yeah.
Right, what was the thing you were hanging on to?
Oh, okay. How do you feel about Toronto going into the season? Because I saw your tweet today about them going with Nick Ritchie on the first
Nick
line.
Ritchie is on their top line.
Yes, but so I'm going to tell you my hot take that everyone keeps torching me. Officer torched me over it. Mark torched me over it. It's a hot take for a reason. It could happen. It probably won't. But
A hot take is a hot take that you think it could realistically happen, but maybe you don't actually believe it.
So I have Ottawa finishing ahead of Montreal and Toronto in the
not gonna
standings.
happen.
That's just my hot take. Do I think it's logically going to happen? Probably not. But it's just my hot take of the year
I
for
don't
the
think
Atlantic
it can
Division.
happen. I just don't see it.
Ottawa's going to win some games
I will
this year.
half agree with you.
Man,
That's what I
think Toronto after that, okay, hear me out. After the Amazon series, after losing that fashion, half their team's gone, half the guys leave, they bring in a bunch of new guys. The pressure that they are going to have this year, I don't know if they can do it. I don't know if that is the group that can overcome that pressure. The group that they're putting on the ice this year. That's just my take on it.
They're finishing
I think
fourth.
I believe so. I have hate in my heart for Toronto.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
always
That's why I was
room
like, I'm going to
for
pick your brain for this.
hate in my heart for Toronto. I will always will.
And that's why I
their-
love you.
Their fans are the most sanctimonious dickholes this side of Twitter, and they have this weird gatekeeping thing about them. When, never mind that their last playoff series win is now old enough to drive, and we've gone through 2 lockouts since then. So if you're a Leafs fan and you're listening to this, please kindly sit and spin. But I will say, they will be fine in the regular season. They will be absolutely fine in the regular season. I
wish they
really do
wouldn't
believe
be.
that because
They are a regular season team.
they are a regular season team. Matthews, Marner, Nylander,
I
and
know.
Tavares are regular season players. The playoffs, I don't know. I think Toronto. I think Toronto. I don't think Toronto is in any danger of missing the postseason. Now, Montreal
Oh yeah, that's
is in
shut and closed at this
trouble.
point. And I said this take before I found out about Carey Price, and by help me God, don't anyone out there say shit, because Carey Price is a brave motherfucker for doing what he did.
Yeah.
And he, like I was as a Canadian man, I was heartbroken. The
Mhm.
people are like, "Oh, Olympics, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
I don't care. Whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I care about this dude on a whole and whether he's getting right or not. So I made this prediction before I found out about that. I just wanted to put that in there.
Right. Okay. Well, but honestly, I think Ottawa finishes higher than Montreal because we said this earlier. We said this earlier when it was just Kevin and I. They are dynamic, but they're also gonna leak a lot of shit. It's gonna be a lot of 5-4, 6-5 games.
I'd say they're halfway there.
They're gonna be fun, but
Oh yeah.
Montreal probably had the worst offseason this side of Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think Ottawa's halfway there.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just am saying it because I like shitting. Like, out of my Canadian teams, I picked Ottawa because Leafs fans hate Ottawa, Montreal fans hate Ottawa. Just feels good. We don't have a rivalry with Ottawa. You know,
You're with Brett on Ottawa finishing above Toronto and Montreal.
or
is that where you're with him?
I'm with Brett with Ottawa finishing above Montreal in the standings.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's for sure. The Toronto.
I don't
one
think
is
that's
just,
hot of a take.
No, Toronto one is the hate in my heart.
Right. Yeah. And I can understand that for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but I understand all that. Do I think Toronto makes the playoffs? Yes.
Here's a hot
I
take.
want it to be a hot take because it pisses people off? Yes.
Here's a hot take. This is a hot take right here. Ottawa and Detroit finishes above Montreal this year.
That's very likely.
Oh boy.
Probably
That
not
is a
going to
hot
happen,
take.
but there's a small chance.
Detroit's
hot
gonna
take.
Nadelovic. I can't say it.
Nedeljkovic.
He's gonna win them some games. I'm telling you that right
He's good.
now.
He's very good.
Yeah, I don't know what planet Carolina's on. What fucking planet are you on?
They signed a guy who was just injured for a whole year for literally like $500,000 more.
Well, here's the thing that we just torched Carolina for.
Yes.
Let me in,
You
please.
balk on signing this young goalie who's shown immense promise.
Oh my God.
2 years, $6 million. I will take that all day.
Yeah.
Even if he's unproven, I will take that all day for a young goaltender, a young talented goaltender.
Which is hard to find in this
But
league.
you bulk on the money, and then you turn around and you trade him to Detroit for a guy who's not even going to suit up for you. And then he signs for less
Yeah.
in Detroit.
Yeah.
And then you decide to go full troll and offer sheet Kotkaniemi.
And even on top of that, give half, like the $500,000 you could have given to Nedeljkovic, you gave to fucking Tony DeAngelo in a $1 million contract.
Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
confused.
And did you see
All of those
Nedeljkovic?
things happened in 2 weeks, by the way, people.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. Like, it's like we just talked about 3 years there.
Yeah.
And did you see Nedeljkovic's numbers and the amount of games he played for those numbers? That was a good sample size.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's
He proved himself.
he's a journeyman too, right? I'm pretty sure
He
he
played
went
in the
through
ECHL at one point.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing that really killed me about it was the fact that Peter Mrazek had his best season by far, and he unseated Peter Mrazek.
Right.
Yeah. And you pretty much swap him with Anderson in Toronto, who was injured.
Anderson.
Yeah, all of last year. Literally injured. You got to watch it in a documentary.
Mhm.
You know? It's like
I still haven't watched it yet, but I have to be in the right mood of wanting
good.
the hate to wash over me.
I will say it's good in the fact that I wasn't sitting there like, oh my God, Austin Matthews. Oh my God, Mitch Marner.
We all
Like,
know how this story.
yes, I was sitting at it like I kept looking over at Alex and I'm like, they don't even know. They don't even know. They're all sitting in this room right now, up 3-1. They don't even know. That was my favorite part of the whole documentary.
So funny.
Wait, that's in the documentary?
Yes, they show right until the final buzzer.
Mm,
Yeah, because it was all or not, like the all or nothing, right?
I love it.
Dude, and the things that were cool where you saw different behind the scenes than you would in something behind the B, where like you see the interview with or the talking Jimmy VC got to be like, hey, like who are you as an NHLer? I thought that was kind of cool that they showed that. They showed like a couple injury things, like Foligno. If anything, if you don't watch it, watch the episode that they trade for Foligno. He's in the whole episode. I was like, yes, I'm all in on Foligno after watching it. He biggest locker room guy. He went out and fought the first game for them, and Sheldon Keefe came over and was like, don't do that again. And Foligno kind of looked at him like, okay. Like, I'm just trying to establish myself on this team. It was the best moment on the whole documentary. I swear to God, go watch it. It was
definitely
amazing.
Gonna start watching it tonight.
It was amazing. It's the second last episode, is the one with Foligno. But yo, you watch the back injury he had. He couldn't even get off the ice. They had to carry him off the ice once he got in the back room. The guy's a warrior. I'm all in for Foligno being.
I want to know what it's like to be hopeless, so I will start watching that tonight.
Oh, dude. It was amazing. And they're like, fans are finally allowed in the building. I looked over at Alex and I went, and they lost the fucking game.
It's like from the sound of it, it sounds like a slow motion train wreck that you know is going to happen, and that you want to be part of you is like, maybe I should look away.
Yeah,
but
honestly, a couple of my Leafs buddies got to they got to the part where, like, you know, they show the JT thing. It's pretty. It's when he got clocked. It's chilling, man. Yeah. It's tough to watch. Like Simmons and who was it? Simmons. Who's the other older guy they had? Oh, Thornton. And Thornton are like, JT, lay down, because he like woke up in like an exorcism, right? And he was like screaming because everyone was on. It was a pretty chilling moment.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and most of the buddies that I have that are Leafs fans, they're like, I watched that and I was like, okay, I'm done. I know what happens next.
Right.
But how did the Red Sox get out of that inning, Brett?
I was watching. Yeah.
How the hell did they get out of that inning?
I know, man.
Whew.
Let's go be dirty.
I did
water.
not expect this game to be like still going on. Like it started. All right, Andrew. It started at 4:08.
It is now not that.
No.
It is now It is now the 13th inning.
Yeah. No. Alex called me. That's who I was on the phone with, and she's like, "What do you?" She went to a bar after the Thanksgiving thing, and I came here, and she was like, called me. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, watching the Sox game. She's like, "It's still on." I was like, "Yeah." It's like it's getting to the end of it, but let's hope the Sox.
I like this question. Who wants to take it first?
Wait, in the league?
In the league.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think will be the best goalie tandem this year? I'm assuming it's in the league, because there's only really one.
Dude,
no, there could be two goalie tandems.
Andre Vasilevsky and Brian Elliott. No, I'm just kidding.
Andre Vasilevsky and anyone who plays the other 4 games he does.
Actually, you know, I'm gonna go hot.
Literally.
See, when Andrew Taverna said he put money on Swayman and Allmark winning the Jennings.
Did you just almost call Walmart?
Walmart? I was just at Walmart getting some stuff. So
Linus Walmart.
But dude,
that's his new nickname. Let's go. That's his new nickname, Linus Walmart.
He's the Walmart version of Tuukka Rask.
Dude, he looked like it. The other, Jesus. All right, anyways, I'm not gonna get into it, but. Yeah, when what the fuck was I even saying? Oh my!
I don't know. That's what you get for almost calling Allmark Walmart.
Oh,
though.
I think they could win the Jennings. I think they could. I don't think it's that far to the realm of possibilities.
I think that's a medium warm take.
Yeah, that's like if you were to go to Taco Bell, you get some mild sauce.
Well, you want some spicy fire sauce? I have Swayman winning the Calder, so.
And that's over a guy like Knight or Caulfield, so I guess that's pretty spicy.
Wait, who's the fuck is that?
Who? Yeah, right. You know,
no, but it's just a hot take. But wouldn't it be?
I'm
awesome?
trying to think. This is a really good question.
Because now that there's no more Leonard Fleury, oh god, it's like
no. But that Breeze
now Leonard
he's sick though. He's good.
Who?
He is good. That kid that they brought in, Brisson, yeah, he is good. I'll give them that. I don't know if he's
beef
Jennings
salt?
Good, but
is beef salt.
Yeah,
beef salt.
Man, that is it.
Beef salt.
Man, well then you got to think if Mrazek and Campbell have a good year, that could be
Mrazek and Campbell is
interesting.
That's a solid 1B combo. I don't think
You
either
think
of them are
1B,
1A,
1C?
I think 1B, 1B. I think they're both.
Okay.
Neither of them are 1As.
That's what I said to most of my Leaf buddies. I'm like, Campbell like just had a good stretch of games. You know? Like,
Well, Campbell just had a
he's
good
not
stretch of games,
proven.
and he ingratiated himself to Leaf fans because apparently he's like a golden retriever person kind of deal.
He was fun on the documentary.
I got one for you guys.
Hmm.
If Bishop can bounce back, Bishop and Ottinger.
Okay.
Wait,
What
I was just gonna say,
happens with that team? What happens with
where
that team?
does
You gotta
what's
guess
his
with one
face
of them.
go?
I don't know. I really
They
don't
trade
know.
they keep Bishop and Ottinger for sure.
Yeah, I think that could be a really fun tandem if Bishop is able to bounce back.
Ottinger's really good.
He won 2 gold medals, World Junior gold medals with Canada back.
You know, Dallas is going to be fun to watch. Like we talked about it extensively.
They're going to be a
on
sleeper. A lot of teams have them. A lot of people have them not.
ago.
A lot of people have them not making the playoffs.
Their top 6 has a chance to be really freaking good.
See, they have
Really
the same
good.
thing as us, though. They're older, right? They're on the back 9 now.
No.
Kind of. I mean, Sagan's 30.
Mm-hmm.
They're where we were back.
He's coming off a major injury, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrist
true.
surgery, right?
We'll see what happens though.
No, hip.
Ben
Hip surgery. You're
Where's
right.
Ben at? He's older.
33, I think.
Yeah.
around
Bishop?
there.
Yeah, and he missed all of last year.
Yeah, and he's not ready for game 1.
And then Radulov, and he's gonna be
He's probably 75, realistically.
up there.
Like at this point, his
scary
birth certificate
What
is probably
is birth certificate?
Yeah.
But that top line,
you know, from the bench warmers, you know, it's like I am 12.
Yeah,
That
right.
piece of paper.
Yeah.
That top line though with Hintz, Robertson, and Pavelski from last year. Oh my God, I loved that line.
They have
I
a
love
really
that
good
line.
top 6.
Yeah, and their
Yeah.
defensive core is dynamite.
Kev, I got another one for you. For interesting goalie tandem.
Is that a home run? That's a home run.
Shut up!
Sorry.
You are so far ahead of me.
Sorry, dude. 6-4. Well, sorry. I'll wait.
Oh shit!
6-4 Red Sox. Vasquez wins it.
Sorry. Go
Bottom
ahead,
of the
Andrew.
13th.
Christian Vasquez is just like, hey, what's up?
What's going on, dude?
Wow. 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 Hey, by the way, Brett,
What?
when we're doing games of the week,
Yeah.
all right, live streaming, you're gonna see a lot of this. A filthy, disgusting goal is gonna be scored. I'm gonna be like, I have no control over my body. It
Actually,
just happens.
Actually, when you stood up and walked around, your microphone went, oh God. Oh, God.
Like
gonna be
seriously
rough
though.
here.
It's
Seriously
like
though.
bleeding wires.
Yeah.
I remember it was the 2019 playoffs when Coyle scored that beautiful goal with the feed from Johansson.
Johansson, that was sick. I was driving to work, had it up on the dash.
I stood up
That's nice.
and walked directly outside. And I was like, why am I outside? Like, I was just like,
You sleptwalked.
I was like, oh my God, that was so filthy. I just get so excited that I have no control what happens. It just happens. And I'm just like, oh my God. But your
Yeah,
goalie
I'm
tandem that
listening,
you were going to
okay.
say, please.
Yeah.
Marc-Andre Fleury and Kevin Lehkonen for Chicago.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I don't think there is one goalie tandem in particular that can really like take the league by storm or whatever, like have an where both of them have an awesome season. But I think Fleury and Lehkonen are probably the closest ones.
Yeah, I like that.
I really like Kevin Lehkonen.
Me too.
He's been everywhere, and
He didn't have like amazing eye-popping numbers last season, but you got to look at what was in front of him. Chicago was a mess. So,
but now they have Seth Jones in front of them. So, oh no.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Moving
I
along.
really thought they were going to go with that Lehkonen kid moving forward before they got Fleury. That's my 2 cents.
They're doing what Boston did with Swayman, except on on roids.
I think fucking Fleury's up for the
by getting
Vezina again
Fleury.
this year. I think he's up for the Vezina again this year. I think he's those pads, dude. They're too nasty.
Can I take this?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead.
If I could shuffle the lines on the Bees, where would you put everyone? Okay. So my first line would be Marchand, Bergeron, and Smith. My second line would be Hall, Holla, and Pasternak. My third line would be Studnicka. DeBrusk, Studnicka, Coyle on the right. And then my fourth line would be Foligno on the right, Nosek at center, and Lazar at left wing.
The only thing that I would change is I would put Foligno on the left because he can do that.
You're right.
Lazar's
Sorry,
the
you're
left
right.
wing.
Yes, Foligno on the left, Lazar on the right. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
That's
Now, what about the defensive pairs? You got to do them all.
Yeah.
God, all right, okay. Let's make this fun. Riley McAvoy.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it, but I don't want it. I'd rather Grizzlick.
Yeah.
And then Grizzlick, Carlo, and then Forbert and Clifton.
Okay.
Something we haven't really talked about.
And then Callum Booth in goal.
I was just gonna say, yeah, Andrew, are you ready to leave? Because I'm ready to leave, and this is my podcast.
You like that?
Callum Booth, huh?
Just got sent down to the Mariners actually today.
JK.
Good for him.
Yeah, I saw that.
I meant to say Jeremy Brodeur.
He made it so we could protect Vladar. Not
Yeah.
protect Vladar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So good for him. That was his contribution to our team.
Bruins legend.
Yeah. Bruins legend.
This is the thing about Grizzly McAvoy. What if it was a one-off?
Are you guys not going to do yours? Did I only do mine and you guys slide out of that? What is the deal?
Oh, I'll do mine. Okay.
I'm like, what are you doing, Chris?
Marchand, Bergeron, Smith, Hall, Studnicka, Pasternak, Foligno, Coyle. Foligno, Holla, Coyle, Frederick, Nosek, Lazar. DeBrusk gets traded.
Okay. Is trading a part of this though, Sharon?
Well, okay, so if it's
Trading
not,
is no okay. So trading is not part of. I would
Okay,
say. I would
okay,
assume
fine.
trading is not part of this.
I'm assuming you
I'll
can sit
redo my
someone,
third
though.
line then. DeBrusk,
I'm assuming you can
Holla.
sit someone though. You can probably sit someone.
no,
So
DeBrusk,
same thing.
Holla, Coyle, Foligno, Nosek, Lazar. I hate to put Foligno there, but he's gonna put Frederick under his wing in practice and show him what to do.
Marchand?
And then defense, same as
sorry,
Kevin's.
go ahead.
No, defense, same as Kevin's because I'm unsure about the Grizzly McAvoy pairing still. I don't know why.
Andrew's about to pop off. I'm just
No,
gonna go.
I loved it last year. I hope it's not a one-off. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's what you mean by you hope it's not a one-off. Okay. You're wrong, though.
I hope so.
So I'm gonna go a little different than you guys. Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak. I'm keeping the production line intact. Hall, Coyle, Smith. I actually do like that line, but here's where it gets spicy. DeBrusk, Studnicka, Foligno.
I like that actually.
Nosek, Lazar, Oscar Steen.
Whoa.
Grizzlick, McAvoy, Riley, Carlo, Forbort, Clifton, Swayman as a starter.
So who was missing out of there then?
Oh yeah. By the way, game one. If we were talking about Swayman started as well, I forgot to mention.
Yeah, who's missing? That would be Trent Frederick, sir.
Yeah, that was the same with me.
Yeah.
I left them out.
Yeah, I left.
So you have no sick on the left wing, right?
Yes, correct.
Which doesn't matter. No sick and Lazar.
No
are the
six.
same.
Yeah,
It does matter actually. It does matter.
It
I want to tell
does,
you why
but
it matters.
Doesn't.
I want to tell you why it matters. Because Lazar's career face-off percentage is like a 45, while Nosek's is like a 52.
Fine. Nosek, Steen, Lazar.
Face-off percentage matters to me. It matters to me.
Actually, Lazar said in preseason that he plays all positions. So yeah, throw Lazar on the left wing.
I don't think he ever has though.
He did in Ottawa.
No. Sharon said that before I came up. So, Sharon, what's your final decision now that I've said my lines?
We want final thoughts. Final thoughts.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people aren't too fond of Coyle being on the right side, but
I've wanted that. I'm
okay with it.
I don't mind it either. Everyone says he's a deer in headlights. Like I thought he played better last year on the right wing. To be honest.
No, I agree.
No, he did play. He played really well on.
But that was just for last year.
Yeah.
And his face-off.
Well, he was also playing on.
Shit.
Coyle almost won every face-off the other night, so
which I'm happy about. Chris Kelly is doing a great job.
I was pretty impressed with that.
Did you guys catch the game where Holla was 11 for 11 on the face-off?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the first one, right? The one where him and DeBrusque scored. Yeah. I saw that. I know. That and even Studnicka. I was like, where did this come from? You're winning face-off.
You were sitting on a throne of lies.
Oh.
That's all right. They're similar. They're so similar. So
yeah.
Just the lone wolf.
Pasternak has a bounce back year and ends up in the race for the Richard. I mean, I'd say another mild take.
I love how Pasternak had a point per game season last year, and we're talking about him bouncing.
I was just gonna say that. Like, nothing against Ryan.
Compared to pretty much 50 goals and 100 points, I'd say this would probably be a bounce back.
He also came off his hip surgery and had a hat trick his first game.
Yeah, so. But he's not saying that Pasternak's bad. What he's saying is
Pasternak is actually dog shit.
Have a bounce back year
to that god level.
It would be a bounce back year if he were to.
I get what Ryan's saying. I just mean I understand what Andrew's saying as well, because it's not just Ryan. Like, you see it on Twitter all the time. It's like, oh, Pasta didn't have a good year. I'm like, in what fucking league?
He had a down year compared to what he did the season before would be the correct way to talk about it.
In the NHL, he had a great year for the injury he came off with.
For any player, if you're a point per game, you're doing good.
And then on poorly worded, it's all good, Ryan. It's all good, brother. We weren't roasting you. We're all just
You're a dick,
Ryan. Ryan. I don't think you poorly worded it at all. That's kind of been the prevailing thought.
Yeah, on Twitter, same thing. Yeah,
not even on Twitter. Just the general at large. It's like he has a point per game season, and he was off. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think this is the year you can start being like, all right, this guy sucks. This guy, you know what I mean? Like, after all this COVID crap and, everyone not being able to have off seasons they wanted last year.
Even off seasons or pre-seasons or any
even just waiting for the season to start was like weird. I felt it was weird just even as a fan. Like, you're sitting around like, is it even going to happen? And then they're like, all right, captain's practice only. And it's like, all right, I guess we're going on with the season.
Right.
So
it's like, okay, I guess this is happening.
I wasn't mad, but I was definitely taken off guard.
Bye.
The hell?
he just bounced.
His internet's probably ridiculous.
Yeah, because he was starting to go vrp, vrp, so
there she is.
It's this Ontario internet, guys.
What happened there?
It just that sometimes this page, because it's streaming and it's taking up so much of my CPU and stuff, Google Chrome will be like, goodbye, and it'll just like shut off for a second. I was like, oh, okay, all right, cool.
All right, so before we answer Ryan's question, I have a question for the both of you. Or
no,
his statement. Sorry, before we talk about his statement.
Okay.
This is not Bruins related. This is not even hockey related. But it's a question I need to ask.
Sure.
Did you guys watch Squid Game yet?
Oh, one of the greatest shows I've ever seen.
I haven't. We're catching up. We're catching up on our shows that we have backlogged. We actually just finished a couple of shows. We just finished. Did you guys ever see The Terror?
No,
No,
sounds
I've
fun.
heard of it.
So the second season's different. It's a horror anthology series.
Ooh.
And the first season was about the doomed expedition, historical fiction. It's about a doomed expedition for the British Royal Navy to find the Northwest Passage to the Antarctic. It is tense, scary, and just really, really good.
What's it on, sorry?
It was on AMC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know what Canada's version of that is.
No, we get ANC up here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's really
It's
really
actually called
really
AMC.
Yeah. Hey.
I'm not.
AMC,
I'm not gonna respond to that.
It's funny because every time I message you or text you like I'm like, he's probably like this fucking Canadian dude.
I honestly
like...
don't even fucking think about it. I honestly don't even think of it.
Every time I do,
I'm just like Brett's
oh,
Canadian.
God.
It is what
Brett,
it is.
I have to say something. I've got to say something. I'm actually also now currently rewatching Letterkenny. You fucking look like a Letterkenny character.
Yeah, thank you. I get that all the time. You know what's funny? Okay, so you know Listowel, like the show where they are?
Yeah, where it's
45 minutes from my house.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I
Do you live in a small town like that?
No. I live in London, like London, Ontario, but I worked in the town.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So like when the show came out, I was like, no way. And like I worked with people who knew the guys that like lived there.
Kevin, I don't like what you're doing right now.
Yeah, I'm scared. Kevin would love Letterkenny. You should watch it. It's a good show.
Wait, is that what he's about to say? He's about to say he's never seen it?
Showtime is over. Ryan Duffy, Pasta had a great year, but in comparison, what we saw in 2019-20, I don't think I could have got closer to my mic. I was literally touching nose.
I'm like you're about to make out with that thing.
Like,
I was just waiting.
I'm
just like,
in here.
They'll stop soon. They'll stop soon. They'll stop soon.
Sorry, me and Andrew are geeking out, dude.
All right, cool. So Pasta had a great year, but in comparison to what we saw in 2019-20, absolutely, that's what I was pretty much trying to get to.
No, I think Ryan, I think you worded it just fine. It's just, you know, I think it's more indicative of what Pasta is.
Yeah.
Brett, don't do that.
Sorry, is that making noise?
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing legit ASMR shit right now.
Sorry. I was trying to fix my foam thing, so I'll leave it. All right,
we're not getting weird tonight. We're done with this.
Yeah, I'll leave it. Wait, I did have something to say though. God damn it! Wait, what were we just talking about? What did you just say, Andrew?
We were just talking about you just said.
We were talking about Letterkenny.
Oh.
No, we were not.
Yeah.
We were not talking about that.
I have Pasternak putting up 52 goals this year. So.
Okay, yeah, I got a 45.
Brett, predictions. Cut it out.
Sorry.
But
that's not a big one. We're going through the whole team for that.
I've got like a 45, 50, 95 line for them. No, we're doing more like standing stuff like that. That's the stuff that's
we are. Dude, you want to know what we're doing?
What?
We have.
Yo, ours is intense. We have 12 questions or 12 predictions, and then we're predicting everyone's goals and assists.
We have.
And then standings.
Yeah, we have 16 questions.
There you go.
We are going through the entire starting roster, and we are giving their goals plus their points totals.
With the exception of Studnicka and Zaboral, I think.
No, Studnicka's a part of it, and Zaboral's a part of it.
Okay, there we go.
But we're doing this for a reason. Because we have a point system for these predictions. Mm-hmm. So closest to, like pretty much this is for like the number ones, for the numbers, closest to gets 2 points, and then an exact prediction gets you 5 points. Whoever has the most points at the end of the season when we tally everything up, the loser will buy the winner a authentic jersey of any team of their choice with any player, of their choice on the jersey. That is the wager.
Okay,
so,
that's cool.
So.
That's cool. The only wager that we had in the off season is that we're just gonna get righteously drunk.
Yeah, I heard it. I remember.
I don't drink, so that wouldn't work for me.
Yeah. No, I'm the drinker of the podcast. So
sounds like you've been drinking tonight.
Dude, I had Thanksgiving dinner with my family.
I know. I'm not saying
and I'm Canadian.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
No, yeah, I've had a couple of wobbly pops, as
Oh yeah,
Kevin
wobbly
would
pops.
say.
Here we go with this shit.
Wobbly pops.
Should I do
Have
my
you
evil
ever
idea?
heard that
We
before,
still don't know
Andrew?
what your evil
Yeah,
idea is.
what are you talking about there,
Yeah.
Bravo?
We're still confused on what the evil idea even is. It never came.
Wait,
to
are you gonna put your
fruition.
first podcast episode out? Because
An evil idea.
that would be wild.
Is that the evil idea?
Because that would be wild.
He just called you putting out your podcast an evil idea. That was a shot taken.
No, it wasn't. This is BMG banter. If you can't dish, or sorry, if you can't take it, you can't dish it. There we go.
Mhm.
What's up,
And
Demon?
welcoming to the show, Demon, who is actually completely shunned by Officer Gaming. Weren't you supposed to be the new? I'm calling it out. Weren't you supposed to be the new host of his Beyond the Boards podcast? And then he's just like, "Oh, never mind. I'm doing this podcast."
Yeah, but it was a girlfriend. It was a girl thing, dude. I know that Demon was dating a Bruins fan, and then Officer stole her, and it was some high school shit, brother.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, and
That's
then
enough of this.
Officer, like,
Damon, welcome to the live stream, bro.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
enough of this.
yeah, and then
No more of
Officer,
that.
like, then Officer dropped him on his ass. That's what I heard. So.
Oh, man. You
Demon's
got
good guy. I had Demon on.
you got the scuttlebutt gossip.
No, Demon's a good guy. I had him on my podcast.
Nah, Demon's cool. I like him.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
What did I just hear?
Yeah,
You're fine.
yeah,
Anyway,
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
you're fine. You're good.
I guess so. The Sox won 6-4.
That
Bruins
was
are
a
right around the
great
corner.
game.
Someone is
Man.
about to die.
I'm not usually like I said, I'm not usually baseball tweets usually don't make it onto my Twitter, but I just saw the Tampa Bay Rays tweet the ground rule double.
I
they
saw
didn't
that
score
too.
off and said make this
Yeah.
make sense, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my god, wine,
I know,
wine.
dude. It hit. Like, it's a double play.
That's been the rule in baseball.
Yeah.
Since baseball was a thing. Like
it's
stop.
yo. What are they calling them now? Champa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
I hate
Yeah.
that because
So
it's like,
Tampa Bay that I
Oh
think
my
next year
God.
I've heard that they're gonna play half the year in Montreal.
yeah. That
Champ
Sox
my
game was
ass.
insane.
Mhm.
If you're gonna play half of America's pastime in Canada, your franchise is not doing good.
The president of Tampa Bay said a full season, we can't continue to do full seasons in Tampa Bay. That was his literal quote. That was the president of the organization.
Oh my god! I just love how Boston gets chirped for calling themselves the city of champions during
Yeah.
like, the past 10 years when
Mm-hmm.
they won
Warranted.
championships. Yeah, right. And it's like, okay, whatever, we get it. Everyone hates Boston, but Tampa wins like a back-to-back cup and goes to the World Series, and all of a sudden they're Champa Bay. It's like,
And their football team.
Right.
yeah, I'd call them Struggle Bay before anything because they took a while to get there.
They're like adolescent champion city. They're on their way up.
Well, it's like what Ian said. They did it backwards to us. They suffered for so long, and then they won a championship. Whereas we won a championship, and now we're suffering
Unless you're a
through
Red
these
Sox
like
fan.
Stanley Cups.
Right.
Yeah,
Unless you're a
yeah.
Red
No, I
Sox
mean for
fan.
the Bruins. Sorry.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Like, what else do we even talk about tonight as far as Bruins goes? I feel like everything.
I
that
think
could be-
we've covered about everything.
I feel
Yeah.
like everything that can be beat to death was beaten
A
thoroughly.
couple more beers, and I start saying some wild takes. So
I mean,
we don't need any of that, Kevin. We already have enough.
We're gonna have to start projecting like next year's team at this point if we want to freaking continue on. Because it's like we
Yeah.
can't really touch upon predictions too much because we have our own, content
make
that will
sure-
be coming out
yeah.
for that.
Exactly.
and
Go
that's for
watch
both
Short
podcasts.
Shift too. Go watch Short Shift's prediction episode. Will it be this week, Andrew?
Yeah, we're still trying to nail down. Thomas is still trying to nail down the guest. He won't tell us who it is, but whenever that is,
It's Linus Allmark.
if it's
Yeah.
Linus Allmark, I will shit a literal brick on camera.
But I think that's a perfect note to bring us out.
Oh,
on.
I
Yep.
think that's
Yeah.
the
There you
perfect
go.
note.
There you
go.
So
Yeah.
we've talked about everything tonight, guys. It has been 2 hours and 28 minutes, longer than I thought this was going to be.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we were having fun. It was a good time, and we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. And we will be doing. Brett, you ready? You like this for the name? The B-Hive Live.
Yeah. I like that. That's cool.
And
the
Andrew's was
B-Hive
the
Live.
B-Live.
The B
The
Live.
B Live. That's
Yeah.
good too.
The B-Hive Live. So
The B-Hive
whenever we do
Live.
something like this, the B-Hive Live.
All right.
I think it's fun.
All right, boys. It was a whole lot of fun. I loved doing it. Brett, for the love of fucking Christ, please stop.
Yeah, stop finger fucking your mic.
So
please.
can you guys hear that?
Yes!
dude.
Oh my god. Okay, sorry. I barely moved it and I looked down at it and I was like, "Oh fuck, I hope they didn't hear that." I'm going to put my fingers down here. This
Dude,
is why
get a fidget toy or something.
Dude,
It's
he's
my
gonna be sitting there with a
ADD.
fidget spinner, just like on his finger.
Man,
like
I don't
this,
know
just
if you
giving
guys
Lotus
have
takes.
noticed, but my OCD, I've done this like a
That's
million
what I have.
times.
That's why I have this.
Yeah. I normally
I
grab
have
the
this
brim
on the
of my
side of my
hat,
computer that I
but-
literally unmagnet like back and forth like 5,000 times. That's what I do.
All right, everyone's probably annoyed of this. Andrew, thank you for filling in for me. Thank you for filling in. You're always welcome on this podcast. We love having you on. We'll have you on as soon as the season kicks off, most likely. Kevin,
Can't wait to be
I'll
on.
talk to you. Yeah,
Can't wait
I'll
to be
talk to
on.
you later, Kevin. I'll
Love
see
you guys.
Yeah, love you too, brother. Peace, everybody.